What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition to the Rated G podcast. I'm your host, G. Derad. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the show. If you're wondering who I am, really, I am an artist, watercolorist, portrait artist, cartoonist, yeah, that's who I am and what I do. And here on the podcast, I like to sit down and discuss all things related to art and creativity. I share insights of projects I'm working on and just the creative process. And I usually have other artists and creatives here on the podcast to discuss those things, as well as talking about just life in general and just, honestly, more particularly the state of society, because I think we're all on the same page in terms of just how crazy the world is right now. But I digress right now. So yeah, while we're having these deep conversations, I also try to help promote their business and their brand, their craft. So if you are into this type of content, please follow if you're listening, subscribe if you're watching, ring that notification bell so you can keep up with the new uploads. For viewers that are watching on YouTube, please do all those necessary things to help grow my channel, grow my podcast. You know what? To really help grow the podcast. So if you can like, share, again, just whatever it takes to help build this podcast up. I've been getting a lot of love and reception from, for my art content, which I'm so appreciative. But there's so much valuable content in the podcast that I really want. I would love to have people, come across. So yeah, if you could do all those things, I'd be super grateful. And if you want to follow myself and my featured guests on social media, all the links will be provided in the description below. All right, so let's get after it. So the other day, right? Also, I'm going to be transparent for a quick moment, because the timeline of things, like just how I've been doing everything, is a little if out of order. So when we get to the portion when I'm talking to my guests, you're gonna notice, you're gonna notice my attire is different. So the reason being is because that conversation was pre-recorded, and I'm sort of playing catch up with like the podcast content, because lately I've been doing the interviews. I hate to call them interviews, but I've been handling the interviews with my guests. I've been recording those first and then doing this segment later on. And the reason really is because my wife's work schedule has been a little wonky and it's been short. So I'm a little self-conscious about recording when she's home, especially when I'm doing it alone. I don't know why. But I just, so whenever she comes home early, I'm a little, discouraged to record by myself. Like, it's when I'm talking to somebody else, it's like, all right, at least there's that. But it just, I feel like I've talked about this and way long ago, but I just, in my head, it's like, yeah, it's kind of weird where, if you're like upstairs watching TV and your partner's in the basement practically talking to a brick wall. It's like it's just kind of weird. So yeah, so that's why things are a bit out of order. So now you know, if you're ever wondering. But okay, let's get back to what I initially wanted to talk about. So yeah, oh, I'm recording this on July 4th, so happy 4th of July, everyone. I hope you enjoy your Independence Day. If you're gonna play with fireworks, although when this comes out, it's gonna be out later anyway. So I don't know. I just hope people are gonna be safe when handling these fireworks. So yeah, Happy 4th of July. Honestly, quite honestly, because I know this is going to be out later, not, it just feels pointless to even have said that. Anyway, so yes, today's 4th of July. Well, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because on Monday, I've been doing these weekly live streams on Instagram, to try to engage and interact more with some of my new followers. And so I've been doing some like Q&As, AMAs, just sharing my thoughts of the day or just like, things that have happened recently. Almost kind of like this. It's almost kind of like a podcast on Instagram Live. Um, and then sometimes I'm working on art, so on Monday I decided I was gonna, I'm trying to get these new Ninja Turtles sketch cards done for this Friday um for an event, and I was working on one of them while streaming live, and everything was going well. Like I have all my sketch cards drawn out. So on Instagram Live, I was doing the ink. I was, working on the Raphael sketch card, inking, watercoloring, and everything was going great. I had people watching my process, and actually carry, having a conversation, and yeah, everything was going pretty smoothly, and it wasn't until I won't I was trying to put the card in the sleeve, and it was really tight. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna try to trim this sliver off the side. Um, and I, you know, probably poor decision making, but I decided to use my paper slicer. And I've been using this thing for years now, and I haven't had to change the blade. So I don't know if it's because the blade is becoming more dull, or just or because I'm trying to trim off so little with the slicer that. But anyway, so I'm trimming it. You can always go on my Instagram if you want to check out. I made a video on it, or you can watch it live, whatever. At Art of G Torado. Anyway, yeah. So it's at the very end. This is like I already initialed it, and so I'm trying to slice it now. Like this, the error didn't happen on camera just because of the way things were positioned and whatnot. But you can hear me audibly be like, "Oh fuck!" Like I fucked it up, and you know, I tried to save it, but it just got to this point where so much of the card got just ripped. It got ripped, so there was no salvaging it, and I was like, "Shit." So, I was kind of embarrassed. Like one of the viewers was like, "Oh no, what happened?" I was like, I don't know. I think the blade is dull, but I think it was just because of how much I was trying to slice off. So I fucking botched this Raphael sketch card live on Instagram. And then so since then I've been, I did another one. I made another one. That's on my Instagram. And did I post that on YouTube? I may have already. Um, but yeah, so I'm working on another one. And for whatever reason, I don't know, I just kept fucking up. Like, I don't know. I've easily made probably like 5 to 7 attempts. Like I was either drawing Raph like off centered, or I was drawing him too big. Like I would put him next to the rest of the sketch cards, and he would always come off larger than the rest. And if you're a big TMNT fan, like like Raph is the muscle, so he's He's like a little bit bigger, or at least that's how they've been sort of starting to portray him in all these reinterpretations. But so yeah, he kept coming out bigger than the rest of them. I'm like, fuck, man. So I just kept resketching. There was one point where I forget which attempt it was, but I sketched it out. I inked it out, and then I was just looking at it. I'm like, something's off. And it was either he was off centered or he was too big. And I was like, fuck. So I had to toss that one. And like, if you know me, uh, whether you know me or not, like I hate wasting material because that's money wasted. So being that, I'm a low budget artist, right? I don't want to say struggling artist, but I try to get my money's worth with my materials. So yeah, I had to toss that one, and then I'm just sketching it out, do the comparison with the first card. I'm like, oh fuck, he's again, the alignment's off or he's too big. Like I just couldn't get it down right. And then finally I got it down. And yeah. So like it was just like I don't know, like that moment on Instagram Live was just like again, I had to like in my head, I'm just like, well, even audibly, I was like, fuck. It's like, God damn it. After all that work, I mean, and it's like just funny because, they're, these sketch cards are 3.5 by, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So they're not that big, right? And it's just kind of funny having this, being affected so much by this, fucking sketch card, mishap. So it's just like, man, damn. Even though I'm capable of redoing it over and over and over again, but just that, I guess just that like self-defeat is just like, damn it, fuck. So, shit happens, right? And, shit happens. The best thing to do is just to assess the situation and just try it again, right? So if you're trying things and you're failing, that's fine, man. Failure is part of succession, so you just gotta keep trying and trying and trying again. All right. If you hear all these big success stories, one of the main theme, or not one of the main themes, but one of the main things that often happen is the repetition of failed attempts. So long as quote unquote get back on that horse and give it another shot. If you're gonna fail, keep failing forward. Uh and don't give up. So yeah, that happened. So, that shit happened, all throughout this week. And I just hope I can like I plan on spending the rest of today finishing the sketch cards. And I mean, I don't even want to say anything in terms of like what I hope comes out of it because I don't want to jinx it. But now it's like, all right, I already mentioned the word jinx, so but I do hope these these next three are gonna be a little bit smoother. All right. So yeah, that happened. Um, so yeah, let's move on. All right, so I came across I came across a couple of videos addressing something that's been that's not happening to uh these young women, but s- just something that the women are have been doing. I mean, they've been doing this for years, but I guess you know the extremities of like, all right, now this is kind of getting out of hand. Um, and you can't blame them because of like media and uh just like eh, everything, just everything that we're seeing, right? So with beauty standards. This is where I'm getting at. I'm sorry, I'm long-winded, so it really I have to fucking really beat around the bush to get to the point I'm making. But yeah, so women, especially like younger women in their 20s, they're and this has been talked about for a while now, it just with the younger generation in general, in general, like both male and female, and sure, non-binary. Um, but with the younger generations, like they've been as they're, I mean, they're young, but they look older, right? And whether because of the stress and the mental health and everything, like that certainly has an effect on the body. Um, but with the women now, they're getting so much cosmetics procedures done, fillers and facelifts and stuff. And it's like, dude, like you're trying to better your appearance, your skin and everything. Like before your brain just had completed its development, and while your brain was still developing, you're just doing all this fucking, you're putting yourself under the knife or under the needle so much. And it's just in some of these videos that I've seen it, they're discussing how um the women in their 20s are looking much older now. They're looking like they're in the 30s, maybe late 30s, 40s maybe. Whereas you look at a lot of the women that are older, that look great for their age. Some of them may even look younger because maybe they got a little bit of, like, I don't know, like if it's Botox or what, maybe a little slight, you know facelift, but it's not overkill, right? So, and they're most likely are taking care of their body, so that's the thing that's been sort of I don't want to say polarizing, but it's just like, all right, whoa, this is, it's almost becoming like real, it's real evident, I'll say that. And not even just like that cosmetic, surgery or procedure, but like I've also seen videos where um and like, again, like I'm not trying to attack the female population here, all right? I'm just kind of like, I'm just letting you guys know what I'm seeing. And one of the other things that I have been seeing is how women are tattooing freckles on their face now. And like, I who knows how long that's been going on. But again, now you got like all these like sort of media journalists, like these media people on YouTube, like addressing it now, making content off of it. It's like, all right, well, fuck. And I've seen some of the clips they shared with the, these people getting the tattoos done. And it's just like, what? And it's funny because, like, when it comes to the dating market, you always hear always hear the females always saying, like, I want them to, accept me for me. And it's just so funny because, like, the ones that are saying that are the ones that are clearly getting worked on them, on their bodies. I mean, it's one thing if you're trying to lose weight, right? Like, just better your physical health. But when you're just like getting implants and fucking freckle tattoos, facelifts, all this shit, like, how do you expect the, you know, the other person to accept you for who you are, authentically, where you're like, you can't even do that yourself. Like, you're getting all these modifications done. So it's just like, it's it's really amusing to and it's annoying too, right? But it is like rather amusing to just see this thing happening with our society. So, so all this shit that I'm seeing, and again, I'm sorry, I'm sure that I sound like I'm targeting women, I'm attacking women. I'm not. I'm just pointing out things I'm seeing at the moment. But seeing this sort of phenomenon or phenomena, I always get them mixed up. Uh, it's kind of actually inspiring me to revisit an old piece that I started. I just have like a rough sketch of it laid out, and I've shared it way back, but it's essentially this female formed robot, and it's kind of like um it looks like it's putting on a mask, and like the overall theme of it is well, initially it's like I was kind of pointing out like filters, because at the time that was like the one of the biggest concern, and it still is a concern. But like face filters on social media, it got to a point where it became concerning, because it's like, because of the advancements of the technology, but also like, you're kind of like, it's almost getting to a point where you can catfish people. And but again, I'm seeing a lot of, I I feel like there's no argument there when you point out, it's like, yeah, a lot of women love using facial filters, face filters, facial filters, but they love using filters on their content. And it's like, I don't, it's like, again, it gets to a point where like they use it so much. And when they're not using, excuse me, when they're not using filters, they're using like layers of makeup. Whereas, like, I don't even know what you really look like, you know. And that's kind of the theme of this piece now. As this, as the time goes on, I'm finding more inspiration from, witnessing these things. And it's yeah, it's kind of slowly, gradually drive like pushing me back to revisit this untitled work in progress. Because like, I've been very vocal about going back to working on some new Tech Utopia pieces. And for those who um are unaware of what that is, Tech Utopia is a painting series, an art series that I'm currently working on, or will be going back to working on. But it's a art series that has been in development since 2018, and it's the depiction of a um, futuristic dystopian society, trying to adapt and coexist with technology, where I feel like now we're kind of, I mean, we're getting there where we can coexist, but we're still very much in the phase of like we're just completely consumed by it. Like I honestly, I really feel like we're becoming less and less human the more we are using this fucking thing right now. For listeners, I'm holding up my phone. um, so yeah. So while this stuff is happening, I hate to admit, but there's a lot of stuff happening with society that's kind of triggering for me. And I maybe because I'm so reminiscent of the older, simpler times, pre-internet, because I am, this is one of the things I believe me and my guest spoke about, is that we are the last generation that had that didn't have technology throughout our entire life. Like, a good portion of our youth was without internet. Um, and now we're just so just so consumed by it. So I feel like that, like has greatly affected just how we behave out in public, amongst society, and how we interact with each other, because a lot of these, a lot of the friendships and relationships that are now built today are through the internet. So a lot of shit is like parasocial. And like I'm just, I've always pride myself of being somebody that is, very extroverted, and like I'm very outgoing and animated while I'm out there. Like I try to entertain people. Like I've said this too. Like I almost, like, not to say it's a performance, but in a way, like, I'm trying to get people to like me for my goofiness, but and my intensity, because I can be intense about things even with my humor. But yeah, just like now to, like, sure, I can still do those things, but it's just like it's just less likely now, and it's like I have to do it in front of a freaking camera for social media. so, so it's just yeah, it's easier to get the reception you want live in person. Now, don't get me wrong, when you do live streams like that's I'd say that's a great substitution, but in my honest opinion, and this is just my opinion alone, I do feel, the more authenticity is what's the word? It translates better when you're actually present, when you're actually in the room with the person, as opposed to just DMing, texting, sending me, like, just all the shit that we do now today. So that's what's up as of right now. And I'm gonna get into these plugs before I bring in my guest. So bring in the music, Future G. Here's what's happening in Richmond for my local audience members. Okay, July 20th, excuse me, July 20th. I'm gonna be at the Christmas in July Kismet Market at Star Hill Beer Hall and Rooftop. It's a pretty cool venue. If you've never been there, the market is held inside their parking garage, which is, I think that's pretty cool. It's a great open space. And yeah, if you've never seen me before or my work, please come by. Or if you want to get a preview, check me out on Instagram at Art of G Torado. I'm on Facebook too, but it's a whole thing. So if you have an Instagram account, which I feel like most people do, yeah, check out my work on there before you decide to come out for this market. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And yeah, I'd love to continue to meet new people, especially anyone that has tuned in to the podcast. Now, the next thing that's happening, which is super exciting for me, July 26th will be the opening night for my solo exhibit for Tech Utopia. And it's going to be held at Artworks Studios or Gallery. I mean, it's not in their name, but I always feel the need to include that in there. It's just called Artworks. It's in the Manchester area. It's a great, it is a great gallery to go visit and check out all of this phenomenal artwork from our local artists. And yeah, this is going to be my first ever solo exhibit. I've done a few group exhibits with this gallery. So yeah, I'm really excited to open this exhibit. Now I said this is like an ongoing series, so Tech Utopia, what I'm going to be displaying for this exhibit are essentially the first what is it, like 13, or maybe is it 11 or 13? I've kind of lost count, But there's like under 15 pieces that I'm gonna be displaying there, and yeah, I'm just really excited because over the last couple of years, I was kind of hesitant about like just showcasing this stuff because I just wasn't sure how well received it was going to be because I feel like I kind of like fear monger, you know. So yeah, I just wasn't sure. I just thought it was gonna be kind of off-putting with viewers, but having like last year, a lot of I was just I've made prints for a few pieces, and I've been displaying them and selling them. Like I didn't realize how well some of these pieces at least were going to be received, and how much people were really resonating with them. So it really it was really gratifying to see that development there. So yeah, and then that's the thing too, like I had in one of the past group exhibits that I did with artworks, I've submitted a couple of Tech Utopian pieces, and they've because this is like these are juried exhibits, so like a couple they've gotten accepted, at least two of them, and one of them earned me an honorable mention. So like, and that's never happened before. So I was really, really thrilled to have received that award, which I didn't even think that existed till that happened. But yeah, it was nice, and yeah, really excited. So July 26th, that's a Friday, I believe, and yeah, check it out if you're in the area. The opening reception is Friday, but it will be up for 6 months, so you'll have the rest of this year to go visit and check it out up close and personal. So yeah, set a reminder, mark your calendars if you're interested. Also, if you want to check out my online shop, a lot of the stuff, not everything, because I had to discontinue the items that are part of the Tech Utopian series. But a lot of the stuff that I sell at markets are also available for purchase online. So you can visit theartofgtorado.square.site. Again, the links will be in the show description. And if you're interested in commissioning customized art, personalized art, I am available throughout the year, so it doesn't have to be right away. But if you want to do something special, if you need some, new decorations for your home, or a new addition to your personal gallery, or perhaps you want to do something nice for a special someone for birthday, anniversary, housewarming, whatever it is, please do not hesitate to contact me. I offer an automatic 10% discount for first-time clients. Shipping and handling are included in the price. And if you are working with a budget, I do what I can to accommodate. So I always offer payment arrangements. And also, there are no restrictions to the scale of the artwork. So, you can commission me for a sketch card or something as large as, the largest piece I've worked on so far was a 14 by 17. So anywhere in that range. And if you want to go bigger, I just got to find, it's just, I got to find that size. But yeah, so now and yeah, I hope we work together in the future. So now, after all of that, let's bring in the guest, shall we? And I hope you enjoy. So please, everybody, welcome my good friend, making his third appearance on the podcast, the one and only Mike, the sound guy, Salvatore.
Hi, everybody.
I almost forgot to drop it.
It's all right. It's all good.
All right. Yeah, man. I appreciate your patience and rescheduling and whatnot. There have been a couple of hiccups here and there,
Dude, yeah, no, I get it,
dealing with
man.
your stuff and then just
Yeah.
stuff here too. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, bro, what's going on? How you been since the last time we spoke?
I've been grooving, man. Work-wise, podcast is taking off. We're doing a bunch of cool shit. We got a bunch of cool shit that we have lined up for next year. Jim's actually taken he's not going to be touring much next year. He wants to focus all on the podcast. He's got some crazy ideas, and yeah, it's going to be pretty killer. So I've just been manning the fort. He's not traveling this month. So I'm just hanging out, busting out, you know, episodes and shit. We have you
Okay,
can't see it on here, but I have like an episode forecast. We're already booked out till the end of August with episodes. So
nice.
yeah, so while he's gone, we just kind of just keep shit going. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm getting into back into hydroponics and not the
Oh, like
not the
the with the plants?
yeah, I had a little system my mom got me, and it was tiny, and I took it apart and I made it a little bit bigger. But I was looking into the bigger systems, like the tower systems, but those go for like eight $900 for like the basic one. And I found some plans on Reddit and the internet and whatnot to build your own PVC, and I just never got around to it. And we went up to Jersey for my buddy's dad's funeral, which is why
Mhm.
we had to reschedule the first time. And me and my buddy were on the way up there because my other buddy lives in Florida. So we drove up, and as we were up there and just bullshit. We had 16 hours to chat. He was talking about, he just moved and he's got that thing and it's sitting in his garage. I'm like, dude, how much you want for it? He goes, you can have it. I'm like, what? It's like an $800 system right there. So took it home. I just got done washing it today, and yeah, I can't wait to start growing shit in it. I'm stoked.
Nice.
Yeah, lettuce and all that good shit, tomatoes,
Hell yeah.
self sufficient.
I do follow you from afar, so
I see you.
you
I see you out there
know.
creeping, creeping. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Joke. Stupid.
No. Also, I'm pretty high right now, so I might be like,
Oh yeah, no, I did that right before we came on. Yeah, I made
oh,
sure.
perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. No,
So
no
if I,
shit.
it's been a while since I've like podcasted. I'm usually doing them sober now. But
No.
just like as of late, like my last one I did with my good buddy Nick, and I was probably a little like, cause like I don't know, I go through like you know spurts of like not smoking for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then when I finally do, it just kicks my ass. And then this what do you call it? This stock that I got is like, I guess it's more of a indica hybrids, because every time I smoke it, I'm like, it puts me out. So it's great for going to bed, but
In the couch.
yeah, exactly. It really does feel more like just an indica. So I just make assumption that everything is a hybrid now.
Yeah, you can't be too
Unless
sure.
I'm getting it from an actual dispensary, but I get it from a guy who grows, and every time I ask, it's usually a type of hybrid, and it's usually indica hybrids. I'm like, all right, maybe just they're all like somewhere on that scale, like
Yeah.
indica to sativa ratio. But yeah, so I might my K I don't know, my tempo is just like I'm a lot slower.
Well, it's
But
funny you said that because like before I moved out of Jersey, it became legal and there were dispensaries that you can go to and pick shit up, and I never did. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, I don't know. Like now that it's legal, it's not cool anymore. Like I slowly stopped doing it. So once I moved to Florida, it was like I slowly got back into it and whatever. But when I was on the road, at one point we had stopped in New Jersey, and two of my buddies from where I used to work came to the show, and I met them there. And then my buddy Rad Ron showed up too, and we all went out after the first show because there were two shows that night. So after the first show, we went and hung out, got some food and shit. And I'm like, dude, kind of want to go to a dispensary. Like, never been to one. So we went to one in Red Bank and went there, and it was weird. Like, you go in there, you give them ID, it's like, all right, and then you go in the back, and then they're like, can you see your ID? I'm like, what the lady just literally just checked. She's like, I gotta do it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then you give it to them, and then they're like, okay, so what are you looking for? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what, you got digital menus and there's shit everywhere. I'm like, I pulled like a newbie move. I'm like, just give me something that's gonna fucking lay me out. I'm like, I don't care. Like, just, I didn't say like, I have back problems or anxiety or this and that. I'm like, just something that's gonna just put me on the ground. And they're like, all right, well, you have these. And then like she gave me 18 different options of that. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Whatever's got the most THC in it. I don't give a shit. Just something that's gonna put me on the ground. And she was like, okay, you want this one? I'm like, dude, I didn't go to weed college. I don't know how to talk to you people. I just give me something that's gonna fuck me up, or something that's not gonna do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's weird because it's just, I don't know. For me, it's new. I'm old school, man. I'm used to getting it
Yeah,
from the dude down the street.
it's very complex now. It's so
Right?
complex now.
Dude,
Yeah,
fuck that.
when it comes to names of things, it's like, yeah, because like it was just much simpler the way you would grade how good something was. So you got your uh
I will say this though, when you're on the road,
uh
it's great when because you're in a legal state and you could just Google, hey, where's there a dispensary? And you can just find one and then go to it. You know what I mean? When you're home, it's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to call my buddy and have him drop it off.
mm,
But yeah,
yeah,
on the road, it's fucking awesome.
I imagine. I'm just saying that like back in the day, you had like your dirt weed or what
Mids,
mid
sticks, seedy as hell.
like you had, well, at least those are the terms that I like was brought up using. Like headies was like the good quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mids is like, all right, it's okay. There was other one for like when something's really good. But you got your Kushes, your um purple haze, like you just had like those like select few like everyone knew about, and like
Mm-hmm.
you knew that was the one to get, or if you happen to get that type, like you knew you got some good shit. But like now it's just like you never know. You just
Mm-hmm.
never know with all these ridiculous names.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
You
remember,
got
someone had purple haze, and you'd be like,
Yeah, or like
ooh,
Northern Lights.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
like top tier for me. I never smoked it till this day, but I'm trying to think what other
Now you got like chocolate chip mint
like the
gelato.
Cook.
What?
Not even that. It's just like, yeah, I mean, like Snowflake, like
Or even that, yeah,
Strawberry
outrageous names
Snowflake
like
or some
that. Yep,
shit.
yep.
Yeah, it's
Powdered
weird.
donut. Oh, okay, cool. Mitsubishi, awesome. Yeah, give me that.
Oh shit. Fireball,
There's someone out there right now going Mitsubishi. That's a great name for a strain.
electric
Uh-huh.
cheeseburger.
Dude, is that one?
What?
Is that a name?
I don't know.
It should
That was
be.
like something that like a high school friend of mine said like once during it was during band practice, and I forgot. I don't even know the context of what we were talking about, but I just remember him saying something about electric cheeseburger, and that just stuck with me. I'm like, yeah, that's such a funny. Oh, you know what? We ended up searching generating AI art with that. Remember? On your podcast with
electric
Red
cheeseburger.
Electric
Wow.
Cheeseburger, and yeah, I don't know. It just always stuck
My
with me.
fucking
So.
brain's terrible, dude. It's so bad.
This is gonna
No,
be a
it's
stoner
like
episode.
sad bad. It's like people bring up a story and I'll be like, I was there, and they're like, yeah, dude, you're the one that instigated it. And I'm like, I cannot recall this memory at all whatsoever. Sounds awesome. I wish I could.
You might have been I mean, To be honest, I don't even remember if I was fried or not
Mm,
during that session. It's a possibility we both were.
yeah.
But I remember at one point we were playing with I don't know if it was Chat GT Chat whatever fucking
Yeah.
Chat
Yep.
G
Mm-hmm.
or Dolly or some shit. But
Robot. Yeah.
robots, yeah,
Robot
man.
guys.
Um, what's gotten your what's occupied your attentions these days? The crazy world.
Oh God, I mean, unfortunately, with my job, I'm in other things that are. I'm sorry, it's storming out right now. I hear tippy taps on the roof, and I'm like, the fuck is
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
I'm
was
like,
like, yo,
fuck.
are you seeing a ghost right now?
Yeah, no, sorry, it's raining. Yeah, no, obviously from all that political world and all that bullshit aside, and what else is happening in the world.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Um, but dude, fucking, I was watching your shit. I know we were going to talk about it a while
Oh,
ago, and we were slowly getting into it with Mike and Rad, but your AI stuff, because I know you've
um,
been talking a lot more about that. And I was watching your episode 190 episode 190 episode. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, and I'm like, dude, I gotta fucking get back on this shit and talk about this. I did. I actually wrote notes. I was
Oh
watching
my,
the
oh my
episode, and
God.
I was you're oh, by the way, I gotta bring up the Stubbs barbecue sauce commercial. It's fucking hilarious,
That
dude.
was
I
in that
love
one.
it.
That's
I love it.
I
I'm like, this dude.
kind of forgot to slip that in there.
Dude, I love that. I saw that like all of a sudden, like after this commercial break, and it cuts to that. You're just pouring barbecue sauce on this. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I like that. It was nice.
When it comes to pairing barbecue sauce with my steak, Stubbs is the finest choice there is. Get a taste of Stubbs' legendary barbecue sauce. Get a taste of life.
And then you came right back into it. Like it was
I'm
that
like,
premeditated, or you just like were joking
I
around
made,
and
I
something
made,
like,
I made that because at one point, I think when I started doing this like last year, I started just making my own like fucking sponsors with
uh-huh.
that like hence the I don't know if you call it like any of the liquid death stuff I was doing for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then yeah, and same thing with the barbecue sauce like that because I like using their barbecue sauce. I'm like, hey, maybe if I just like shout them out, I'll make a video and
Dude, we
tag
did
them.
that on with Mike and Rad, but we were using like old. We didn't make our own, but we used like old commercials, like Caldor, like shit that was out of business, like that's no longer around.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. I was just that one when I was just having fun with, and I was like, why not? And if like whatever, like
No,
I
it was
just thought it
cool,
was a
man. I
good
dug it.
filler, so I forgot that I slipped that in there.
Yeah, no, that was a good slip in, man. That was nice. It was awesome. I'm like, this guy, this is a legitimate commercial right here. Like, I
I
like this.
I've been vocal about it lately. Like I enjoy like that side of creating. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
filming, I like editing. Like I really do. Like I don't do anything fancy with edits, but when it comes to like cutting things and trying to sync things to if it's like audio or music,
Yeah.
like I enjoy making nice clean cut like edits. Um so yeah, that one was just for fun, like that's why like with content creating, like it's kind of cringe, but I I just solely focus on the aspect of like, all right, I get to cut and you know edit these like short clips, and if I'm gonna
Yep.
have music on there, just like that aspect of creating. But it is kind of cringy when you do look at it as like the spotlight of content creator because they're
Fuck that, dude. That would be awesome. You just did a whole cut of just commercials you made. I'd watch that over and over again, man. That's
Just
it.
fake
This is
commercials.
legit, dude. That was good. I'm like, this
Thank you.
it's like
I
it
like
looked like you were sponsored and you were paid to make this commercial. I'm like, dude,
I do like to think
most
I
people don't put that much effort into getting a sponsorship like that. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna talk about it. And you're like, fucking nice fancy shots and shit, fucking slow mo pour. I'm like, this fucking
uh,
guy.
the lighting, like yeah, that's the thing. Like if the lighting had if I had the right lighting, had the fucking
But
that
you're
ring
thinking about it. See, that's the thing though. You're not you're thinking about it too seriously. Like you're the
probably.
audience on YouTube, which the idiocracy fucking direction that we're headed, if not we're there, almost there. They don't care.
That's a good
"Hey, I
point.
want the sauce." Like I wasn't paying attention to the lighting and shit. First pass, you're just gonna be like the sauce. You know, you're not gonna.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's a good
later they'll
point.
come back and be like, "Hey, your lighting is no fucking
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg," but I bought the
I know.
sauce.
Well, that's I guess I hate to say it, that's the artist in me. I guess it's just like,
No,
oh
I get it. I get it.
yeah, but yeah, it's just yeah, that stuff is fun. Um, what what were the things you wanted to talk about from that episode? Because you did bring that up to me in the DMs, like, yo,
Yeah.
like I just listened to 190. I was like, I want to talk about that. I'm like, hey. Or something along the like, yeah, I got some notes or something.
Yeah, no, it was more fresh in my mind when we were originally supposed to do it, and I had written these notes. Like I'm looking at some of these, going, "What the fuck? What was I trying to think about right there? What did I write?" But like you said, there was one thing that you said about well, you were talking about Facebook. I wrote that down too. Like you were talking about like not bothering with Facebook anymore,
Oh yeah, well,
and
yeah,
like
because
yeah, anything like that.
I contemplated making a brand new page, but
Mm-hmm.
just the idea of like I'm just kind of it's really lazy,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't I'm not fond of having to like start from zero again on a platform. Like I'll just keep building off of Instagram as long as I have
Yeah.
it and like YouTube, but like to start a brand new Facebook page because also like I keep hearing people say like fuck Facebook anyway. So I'm like
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's like it's in the back of my head sometimes. I'm like, is it worth it? I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know if there was anything else I said in regards to Facebook, but
Well, yeah, no, I mean, because you were talking about, just ditching Facebook, and I wasn't sure if that was Facebook and its entirety as
oh, like
Meta,
Meta, like the
like
whole Meta.
everything, because that's a big piece that if you were to drop out of it, that's you're losing the Instagram and shit like that. Because yeah,
No,
fuck Facebook. I barely go on there, especially now because it's an election year. I
mm,
my friends list has been thinned out quite a bit because of stuff like that, but I don't even go on there as much as I used to anymore, so it's just
yeah,
an afterthought. Like I even have a Mike the Sound Guy Facebook page, and I occasionally post to there, but I barely do it. I'm all over Instagram. I
yeah,
don't even use my personal account on Instagram. I'm all up on my the Mike the Sound Guy thing, just answering DMs and sharing content and shit like that. Like it's 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 pretty cool because and it's interesting and I guess ironic in a way because like you post on your personal Instagram and it's like you're posting happy pictures, you're doing the trail or you're riding a bike or you're at the beach and this and that, and you only get like those pieces, you don't get everything else. But when you're doing stuff for like for my job, like for the Bruniverse, all that shit is real. It's not like it's doctored up. It's like I'm putting myself out there more with the Bruniverse than I do in my own personal shit. But I don't even use my personal shit anymore. Everything's just on the Bruniverse because that's my life consumed now, which it's a very, very good problem to have. So I'll take it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I think it's safe to say a lot of people are like that though. Like they're sort of more open on their brand than they are with their personal. I mean, yeah, like they make their private life private.
Mm-hmm.
So they're yeah, with how much involved they are and that, whatever type of world they're in their career, like yeah, I can yeah, I think that's just like pretty normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's crazy that just I guess just how everything is now. I mean, even certain like yeah, I see people using like YouTube or even Instagram, and it's they're posting content which is just an advertisement for more content on like Patreon or somewhere else that you have to pay for. Like
uh
you get this little bit, like, hey, we'll reel you in, and then like here's my link tree, and then you go click on the link tree, and it's like, oh, you can go to my Patreon and sign up to get the behind the scenes shit,
mm,
which I personally like. I like the behind the scenes. Like I like the how it's made, how you did this. Like we were talking about before, like with the background, like you were just sitting there and you just see a wall, like how the magic happens. A lot of that's lost nowadays. No one does that shit anymore. And they
mm.
need to start bringing that back because it's you're letting people into your life. I had a point and it went out the window with the storm. So I'm just gonna keep talking to make a nice transition to
Well,
another topic I'm thinking
um
of. Basically, everybody's like using Instagram, I feel like, as just like an advertising for another platform
yeah, no, I
to
agree
go.
with that. Yeah,
That's all it is now, it seems like. It's like here's your little bit of content, here's your little bit of Vine, like the Vines used to be,
yeah,
little 60-second or even less than that
right.
clips. And yeah, that's where everything's shifting now is just little bites. No one wants to watch a fucking 15-minute video anymore. It's weird.
No, it's yeah, like we are in a very interesting direction right now.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this video, which was kind of like more concerning than disturbing, but it was a video of um this gentleman interviewing this kid who's like a Gen Alpha. So I don't know
Mm.
what age that is, but I'm gonna guess like maybe 11 or 12 or some shit. And so he's asking like what these terms are, like these new slang words now, like when they're
Oh
calling
god.
someone Sigma and like all those words. And
Mm-hmm.
some of them are just kind of like what the fuck. But hearing the kid trying to explain it and like saying what it is, it just really kind of made me a little like I said, concerned for that
Yeah.
generation and the generation
Yeah,
after.
but every generation's got their slang terms. We had
Yeah, I
slang
know.
terms. I mean, you think
But
of the
I
weasel,
guess it was his like communication, like his like social skills. I was like, huh,
Well, that's a
that's
whole
the thing.
nother. I mean, if oh my god, I wish it
Because like
was
you
legal to
see,
hit children.
we've all seen kids that are at a young age, but the way they may present themselves is like, oh, like kind of like a young little adult there, kid. Like I don't know. Just hearing this kid talk, I was like, oh.
Yeah, you fucking skibbity toilet.
Because all he's
Kick
doing
him
is
right
just
in the
using these
face.
slangs. Like he's using the Gen
Yeah.
Alpha slang to explain what the slang is. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And no, his
Yeah.
mom is there too, and she's just like, what is that? Because obviously, like, we hear these words and our old brain is like literally using the definition of the word, and it's just the evolution of language is like it's going in a bizarre direction.
It's because you lost your riz, man. No cap.
Oh Jesus. No. Oh God, no.
Dude, I've heard all that shit. Sigma, which Sigma means alpha.
Yeah, pretty much.
Doesn't is an alpha alpha? Like what is that
That's
about?
what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that shit's ridiculous.
Uh,
A skibbity toilet. I
that's
don't
another.
know.
Yeah, that's what one of the words that kids kept saying. Skibbity or something.
Yeah, skibbity toilet. That's a skibbity bum bum. Yes, yes.
What? Wait,
Yeah,
are those
dude.
they're real? Those are real. What you're saying right now?
I think it's like from the Scat Man.
Oh.
So it's like remember skibbity bop 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 a skibbity up bop bop bop. I
Yeah,
think someone just shortened that and just made it skibbity. I'm
skibbity.
pretty sure
Just like
that's
cut
what
a
I
piece
hear when I
off.
hear it.
Hmm.
And then they added skibbity toilet and some dude's head pops out of a toilet or something.
That's true. Cause like, I mean, yeah, right. The younger generation will just take a snippet from the old and then turn it into something else.
Yeah, one person would take for that to get stuck in their head and then just do something with it and it's over.
But like with music too, when you find out like these samples that are used and yeah,
Oh
when
yeah.
music is like, oh shit, that's from fucking the 70s
Mm-hmm.
era or whatever, whichever era. It is pretty wild though to see the rotation of things and I guess trends. You know, a lot of them make a comeback, right? So it's like how many times how many times it's like gonna rotate and like and which ways it gonna evolve when it rotates back. It's like, all right, uh this is like the new dubstep or something. You know?
Yeah. I mean, from what I heard, ankle socks and no-show socks are an old people thing now, and it's calf socks are now back in. That's the cool
Uh,
shit.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard about that too.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you know
Well,
how many people have seen that video or anything that mentioned that, and you look down at your feet and you're like, oh fuck, I'm old, man. But you know what? That's stupid because it just like you said, it's the circle. It's gonna come back. It's gonna do
it is.
things. I mean,
Well,
Jankos, I
it's
think,
just
are coming back now or something. I don't know.
I heard
People
like
wearing that shit.
some type of girls' pants, like mom jeans. No, is it? I remember mom jeans tried making a comeback, but there's another one that was like, yeah, just another one that was on its
Yeah,
way back. But shit, what was I gonna say? Something about the 90s too.
90s too.
92. 92 was a good
92
year.
3. 92 was a good year. What
I don't know. I don't know what went down in 92.
didn't Terminator 2 come out in 92?
I don't know. That's a good question. How you on this? I've kind of just I don't know. I've been watching a lot of
91.
like 90s um compilation videos of like all like Saturday morning cartoons and you know even like Monday morning
I can't
cartoons
do
like
that.
Fox Kids and stuff. I mean, I play in the background
Yeah, no, it
and
hurts.
I know
It hurts.
it does a
It
little
fucking
yeah. It really does. And like I'm
uh,
just yeah, I think I'm like starting to realize like, oh man, maybe these like some of these experiences I had are a little more traumatic than I realized. Not
well,
traumatic in like
not
a
necessarily
physical
traumatic.
way, but
Yeah, yeah.
like I don't know, like tr you know, trauma in the mental aspect of it. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is
Yeah.
kind of like affecting me like much more now. You know, because I always joke around with my wife. I'm like, I'm trying to regain parts of my childhood,
Yeah.
you know, because yeah, you know, like for me, there was like I used to be like an honors student, and then there was like a point, probably like fifth grade, I started fucking off, and then started smoking cigarettes. I was hanging out with like trying to keep up
Yeah.
with the older kids and stuff. So from then on, I was just kind of like on cruise control for like throughout the rest of elementary school, high school, college.
Damn.
Now I'm like trying to get my shit together. But I think but because of that, like, you know, days where like I would you know, choose to hang out with the older kids instead of like hanging out with my hometown kids trying to build a, you know, fucking treehouse or something. Like
Yeah.
there's been like those there have been those times in the past. I'm like, oh yeah, probably would have been much better if I had just hung out and built the tree house with my friends, instead of like whatever fucking shenanigans we were doing back then.
Yep.
I was like, huh, that shit really stuck with me.
Yeah.
And now I'm
Yeah.
like into these cartoons again.
Yeah. For me, it's not it's more of a trigger of just when times were simpler.
Yeah, I mean it's
You
all of
know,
that too.
like
Yeah,
I
that's what
some
I
of the
mean.
like I see those things pop up on TikTok. It's like that I don't even know what song they use or sound they use, but it's some like specific one to like nostalgic videos, and they'll show like inside like a discovery zone or some shit like that. I'm like, ah, I can't
Oh
watch this.
yeah,
I
dude.
can't. This hurts. I'm like,
I've seen a
fuck.
lot of those commercials.
Or
Discovery
like a
Zone.
'90s like sleepover with their friends, and they're like, there's an N64 on the
Yeah.
floor, and
Oh
then I'm
yeah,
like, ah,
dude.
watch
Even like
this. It
Mentos
hurts.
commercials. Hell yeah, Mentos commercials too. They do the same thing.
Yeah.
Fuck. All of it, dude. Like just that entire decade was like really it was like I've always described, even though like look, right, every generation, every decade is flawed. But
Yeah.
I just feel like the 90s felt really like they just felt more wholesome, even though like like the cereal commercials were so fun. Even like their wacky commercials, like I guess like maybe because now hindsight's like, oh, like this is still kind of just like a fun, wacky commercial, just to
Dude, 90s was peak. 90s was
yeah,
peak entertainment
like candy
all around.
commercials were like
All around
out,
everything,
yeah,
every form of entertainment in the 90s was peak. And then once fucking 2000 came, it was a slow decline. And then once like I would yeah, I don't even know, but it was a slow decline after the 90s, man. It was like
yeah,
you said, it was wholesome. Like you had, I mean, you had your TGIF shows,
yeah,
7
yeah.
o'clock, you're held around TV on a Friday
Fox
with your
Kids was
family.
my jam.
Dude, it's Friday and then Saturday morning. So you had TGIF at night, you went to bed, you woke up Saturday morning, you had your Saturday morning cartoons ready to
Yep.
rock and roll. Dude, it was a different time. And it just, that shit just got fucking destroyed. Like I'm glad we got to live through that and enjoy
I
it because
know,
we're the last line of defense
dude. Well,
between old and new. That's it.
I'm sure you've seen that meme. It's like we're the last generation that lived without internet. Like we only,
Yeah.
I mean, for a short portion of our younger years, like we didn't really
Yeah.
have it. But yeah, man, like that's kind of freaky.
Or even without computers, phones, any of
Yeah,
that shit. Like none of that.
that's
We
what I
we were the
mean.
last ones that actually still played outside and fucking
Yeah,
kicked rocks, so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah. I guess, and that's the thing, right? Like this new friend of mine. We were just saying like, yeah, it's like, man, it's hard making friends like as adults, especially when you're like a new person in town. Because that was the thing with him. I guess like I think he originally came from California, but yeah, he was just like, yeah, man, like it's tough. 'Cause it's just like I don't even know what it is that makes it harder, but I don't know. I just feel like it was easier to make. I don't know. I guess
You didn't give a shit. That's why.
what's that?
I mean, not that you didn't give a shit. It's just when you're a kid, that's just
Maybe, but
you don't
I
have
don't
like a
know. I
status
also
mindset. You could talk to anybody at that point.
maybe yeah, maybe it's just like maybe it's just like everything that's happened in the last 30 years.
Well, that too, and you probably in your head, people go in their head when it's anxiety inducing. Then yeah, you gotta go out and you gotta do stuff and you gotta fucking like leave the house. Like,
Yeah, right.
dude, I don't want to leave my fucking house.
I
The whole
do.
reason why I bought the house was to not leave the house,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Was that the
That is true. Like I am trying to like we're trying well, I'll say I'm trying to like host more stuff with friends. Like I miss shindigs. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yep,
that's probably like an old ass term now, but I do like I miss just like getting drunk with my friends, and
yeah.
so
hanging out in the backyard, just bullshitting.
Yeah. And like we have the room for them to crash, so like I'm okay with them crashing. It's just, not
Right.
everyone's got their own home, so like I'd rather just
Yep.
crash on my bed, which I totally get that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just like the wholesomeness from the 90s. It's like good times, man. Kids meals, happy meals.
Yeah. Burger King Kids Club. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yep.
And like Nickelodeon shows too, before like now knowing what we know.
Dude, I got to go in the 90s as a kid. I got to go to Universal Studios when Nickelodeon was still a studio there.
Oh shit.
And we got to go inside and take a tour and shit. We got to do this little demo thing where people got slimed and we got to sit in the audience and all this shit, dude. I loved it. It was awesome. And then Back to the Future was there and the Jaws ride and all that shit. And that shit's all fucking gone now.
Uh,
It's gone. It's like I don't even want to go there. It's like 2.5 hours away. I don't fucking want to go there.
uh, so
You're
like,
gonna ruin it. Yeah. Ruin it.
damn,
Yep.
the internet, huh? You thinking all because of the internet? No,
The internet ruined it
no.
all,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, man. So like, so we're like, how do you feel about AI now?
I've started embracing it into my work life.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I love it. It leaves me to do so much more with so many other things. It's awesome. Like if I got to come up with a title of an episode, I'll get the transcript for the entire episode. It doesn't matter how long it is. I'll give Chat GPT a text file and I'll say, "Hey, based on the text file I just gave you, give me a 5 sentence paragraph describing the episode." And it'll
Mm,
there's my YouTube description.
mm.
Uh Given what you just read, make me a title for the episode to use. And give me an episode. Oh, make it quirky. Okay. It's like fuck yeah, man. Like it
Hmm.
using it, like you said, as a tool is fantastic. The
Yeah.
fact that like when I would edit vertical clips for like Instagram and shit, I
Mm.
did subtitles manually. So I'd have to sit there and
Oh yeah,
listen
yeah.
to the word, write it out, repeat, for however long the clip was, and it gets tedious and time consuming.
Yep.
And then one of the other guys that was on the road, he was filming, he was putting out clips, and he sent us a clip to put out on social media. And then five minutes later, he'd send another clip, and I'm like, "How the fuck did you do that?" I'm like, this. I'm like spending an hour trying to get a 30-second clip, typed out, and you're doing it in like minutes. And he's like, "Oh, CapCut."
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
"CapCut." I'm like, "I've always heard about that." I'm like, let me download it and poke around, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Forget about it, dude. It's
Yeah.
I edit the videos, and it's great because CapCut now has a desktop version. So I don't pay for DaVinci yet because it's like $300, but once
Oof.
you buy it, you own it. I'm waiting for version 19 to come out. They're on 18.6 right now. So by the fall, 19 will be out and I'm going to buy it. And it has all this shit built in. AI is built into it, AI masking tools. So you can mask somebody without a green screen and get rid of the background and all this crazy shit that I can do now, but through other platforms. And it's kind of tedious. But yeah, CapCut, I'll edit in DaVinci. I'll do all my major cuts and all that shit, export it, slip it into CapCut, drop in AI captions, just tweak the captions real quick, and then boom, my clip's done.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Mm.
mean, once I buy the DaVinci, I'll be able to do that within DaVinci without leaving the program. But dude, it's such a time saver. I mean, manual masking, manual keyframes and shit. You don't have to do any
What's
of
the
that. You
manual
can
masking for? What is?
like I said, like you can take it
Oh, like
and
taking things
I'm
out.
here right now and I can go in the program and I can take three dots and just go boop, 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 and then hit play and it'll follow me through, the video and then manually cut me out and make a mask so I can then cut myself out of this and put whatever I want behind me.
Right.
Kind of
Right.
like what your background's doing right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what. So that's what.
Like a
Because
lot
I
of
have
people, I don't
CapCut
know if you've
too.
seen what's that?
I have CapCut too. So is that with CapCut or is that with DaVinci?
That's with DaVinci. I think you
Right.
can do that in CapCut. You
Probably
can
have to get
drop
like
the
a premium.
background. I haven't used it yet, but they do have a remove background feature.
I mean, you probably have to. I don't pay extra, or I don't have a
Oh,
premium.
I do. I do for because I can use it as a write off because I'm using it for work.
Ah,
So, dude,
um,
I forget what it is a month. I think it's like $10 a month. It's just like a set it and forget it kind of thing.
maybe I should do that too.
Dude, it's so worth it. I mean, you get a lot of cool features with the free version. I mean, either or, CapCut or DaVinci. DaVinci is remarkable. The free version is, I love it. Um, but I want more shit instead of having to keep going back and forth different other different platforms. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
CapCut's free version is great too.
yeah, I mean, it gets what I need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only like the most tedious part besides editing is taking out the chunks that I want to make clips out of.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure with
Oh,
another software I could use that. But my memory, I gotta make room on my computer. I'm using up a
yeah.
lot of memories.
That's a problem. I'm rocking 12 terabytes right now
Mm,
between like my VR and all the gym shit.
mm.
And I think I have like a couple hundred gigs left.
Uh,
Like I already have stuff I had to start exporting on external hard drives because I'm just running out of space to keep shit places.
yeah, I'm getting
I
to
got
that
that
point
going.
too. Like especially with the podcast
Yeah.
because there have been a lot of episodes where they're getting pretty long because of like just
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff we talked about. But like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get another backup. The one I have
Yeah.
right now is starting to fill up.
Like
Um,
you use Zoom to do the podcast, right?
yeah.
So when you're doing the recordings, you're just how does that it just records one straight way or can you manipulate videos?
Oh, with Zoom?
Yeah.
Are you like if I had multicam?
Well, like StreamYard, the service that we use, it when it records like whatever you're seeing on the screen and how it is. But then also you can download everybody's individual video by themselves and
Got
then
it.
put it in post later and match it up.
Oh, okay. That I don't think it does. It just kind of it's based off how I have it. I have my
Okay.
features on. So like I that's why earlier when I was testing out the different camera things, like
Mm-hmm.
the speakers, because now it's like, oh, I can have it where I had multiple speakers on one screen, as opposed to having the switch. But I kind of like it when it does the switch.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah. That's the only thing I like Zoom that does. It does the switch
Yeah,
automatic, but you can do that in post later if you really wanted to, if you
well,
want
yeah,
like
it
better
just it
cuts.
saves.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the time saver for me. And
Yeah.
I mean, if I had the Da Vinci and whatever, I can see a lot of use in those programs. I'm just not very up to date on what they're
No,
capable
I
of.
got you. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know where I stand on it. Like, yeah, just like we said earlier, I think it's a great tool to use. Like, I mean, and exactly for like these reasons for editing and stuff. Like, it really helps um to be able to take those chunks out and save some time. Because like yeah, editing clips can take yeah, it takes like a great portion of my time. Um,
The what is it? StreamYard, when you're done with the recording, they have a tool that lets you do AI clips
mm,
and it just generates the clip for you. So you can shoot your thing and then hit generate AI clips. It will generate 3 clips at first. It will give them titles and it will like actually be a legitimate clip. Like it just won't just take a random part where it starts in the beginning of a sentence and it ends like it just doesn't make sense. Like it actually finds a part in the clip that was interesting, labels it, titles it, and then spits out a 30-second clip.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be very helpful.
Very, very helpful. Dude, it's instantaneous. And then you can download the transcript if you want to. And like I said, feed it into like Chat GPT and say, hey, what's this episode about? And then dude, so fucking the time saver because you're working on other shit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
excuse me, like the overall editing is the meat and potatoes, but everything else you got to worry about. And you're like, fuck, like, did I censor this word out? Did I cut this out? Oh, I forgot to take that overlay out. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I try to keep, especially because of my resources, I try to keep it simple with my
Yeah.
editing. But
Yeah. Well, if you're doing the work of like three people, then it's definitely helpful. You know, it's like I have an
yeah.
extra appendage. It's great.
Yeah, so like I've always thought it was a great tool. I wouldn't use it for art. And I mean obviously
Oh no,
that's
no.
that's
I
the
mean,
that's the
I'll
obvious
use
stance, but everything
yeah, no. In my case, I use it for like backgrounds or if I need something to come up real quick, like, hey, I need a an old guy with a pitchfork chasing a fucking dolphin, you know what I mean? And then boom,
yeah.
AI gives it to me, you know. But yeah, in your
Right,
case,
that
no,
totally makes sense.
yeah, because
There's
that's
yeah,
your thing, you know. That's
yeah.
how you're selling yourself, and you can't, you know, you
But I
can
mean
cheat
like
through it.
it's just like there's like nuances to it because like when this was like really just starting to blow up and all the artists like all of my friends my peers were posting the no AI um sign the logo
Yeah, yeah,
and like I was like yeah like I understand like everyone was reacting emotionally I think in to their right but I was just like, there's, it's not, I just feel I'm not as black and white about it, is what I'm saying. So I was like, I'm not gonna say fuck AI because I'm sure well, we're seeing it now. There's so much uh beneficial use for it. But yeah, if we're talking about AI art, selling it as an original and this and that, knowing like what it does with data. Like, all right, that's when, like there has to be a line drawn somewhere.
yeah.
Um,
And you need to draw that line, not AI,
yeah, oh shit.
right? That's deep.
Hmm. I'm gonna clip that. That's the intro. That's the preview.
Right on, dude. There you go. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a squirrely situation. It's
Yeah.
squirrely.
But see, you can use it for, you know, not necessarily for your art, but it can help you like schedule things or look up,
Mhm.
you know, festivals that you can go to and what's the best way to hit those festivals in a you know way that's less expensive. Like there's so many
Yeah.
practicalities to it. There was one video I saw. I don't even know how this chick did it. I'm still blown away by it. I clipped it and saved it. She has some like Google automation thing going on where this thing is talking to this thing and it's generating titles for videos. And while it's generating titles for videos, it's getting sent off to this bank where it's getting put in a Google Doc and saved for later that lists all the clips that she's made. And then that thing gets attached. Dude, I couldn't, the video was like 2.5 minutes long and it's like all these different automations putting things everywhere. I couldn't even tell you where to start with that shit. It's
Mm.
absolutely ridiculous. But like on an organizational basis like that, like that's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, help you out with that shit.
Absolutely.
Distribution, all kinds of stuff. Like you just, you know, have to know the right things to ask it, I guess.
I know there's a lot of it's like there's a lot of gray areas in it, especially, now recently with the announcements with Meta AI, right? Using our
Mm,
photos, our content for AI.
yeah.
Um, yeah, for like their AI training program. And I mean, like, I don't
Listen,
find it.
it's gonna happen. First of all,
Yeah.
if your profile, you signed a term of service to use this free service that you're not paying for. So I
Mhm.
get it. I'm not like, fuck you for doing this. Like you got to
Yeah.
read the terms of service, guys. Like
Yeah.
this
Because they
is,
get
I mean, granted, it's an
really,
update. It's an
they,
update, but like you can't not expect this shit from these people,
yeah,
especially
they
with
get
the way
really
things are
sneaky
going.
with it.
Yeah,
They get
they're,
really
if
sneaky
anything,
with it.
they're gonna scrape your shit if it's public. They're gonna take it. It probably already says if your profile's public, they can use your pictures for whatever. You know, there's all kinds of shit. It's like people, you use it. If you're worried about it, stop using the
I mean,
service.
yeah. I mean, well, so yeah, I'm with you on all that. Like, and that was one of the solutions was like, if you really want to avoid having more of your
Yeah.
posts used, is just to get rid of your Facebook completely,
But I
entirely.
mean, granted, that's that's everything because
Yeah,
Meta. If you're still using Instagram, I'm not going to use Facebook, but I'm still going to
right.
use it. You're
Yeah,
feeding the machine. You're making it worse because on Instagram you're posting more pictures than
yeah.
you would anything else.
But a lot of so like the reason I bring it up is just because that caused another emotional reaction out of the artists again. Because now they're like, oh, like now I know my artwork is uh really out there for data
Mm-hmm.
scraping, and
Yeah.
so they're all making their way over to Kara, which is like you know this artist is really like an artist app, and same shit. It's this image only AI safe platform, so artists use it to build their online portfolio, and of course, and I guess it's kind of like Tumblr too in a sense, right? It's just only like the format is just photos,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I think there's like a subscription fee, like there's like it's just I was when I spoke about it, I was just saying it's like a really like a pick and choose your battles, because like you can use this application for free, have all of these, you know, applications you can like, features and make cool content, like engaging content, but your data is used for, generative AI training. And
Yep.
now, if you want to not have any of that shit, then you pay for a subscription on this on this one app, and you just post pictures, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
completely safe.
But like, has any? Yeah, but and that's the thing too. Like, it could be safe for now until they get bought out
Yeah,
by some big ass company, or maybe did anybody read their term of service? Does it already
yeah.
say that in there? Like,
Well, my buddy
no,
Mark,
if it's on the internet, it's not gonna be safe.
yeah,
It's getting out there. That's it.
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, my buddy Marcus, what was it, episode 191? He said, he was like, yeah, like. You could probably, there's got to be a way we can just take a screenshot, right? Like,
Mhm.
let's say someone does follow an artist on Carrot, and they just, for whatever their reason, they decided to take a screenshot of the work you wanted to keep safe from AI, and they decided to share that on their platform, and like, like, who's to say that wouldn't work? I don't know for sure if like that's the case, but like, I'm sure that there's a possibility there. I'm sure
Yeah.
someone's tried it, but yeah, like it's like OnlyFans too, man. Like shit gets out too, so it's not as safe as
No.
you want it to be,
No,
unfortunately.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. It's gonna get scraped either way. Someone's gonna grab it if they find they like it or whatever the case may be.
yeah.
It'll happen. I mean, shit. It's almost like I feel for the ones that just create digitally. Like, who's to say that, like, if you do create something digitally and you put it out somewhere, that
Mhm.
some AI can't nab that and then say, like, oh, this is mine. Oh, we'll prove it. And then the AI, or whatever is like, well, I have all the layers. And then you're like, I have all the layers because I was worked. This is my, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going
Yeah,
to get to that point where
there,
trying to prove that this is your work.
Yeah, I'm seeing a
Unless
lot.
you recorded yourself doing it, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
might not mean shit.
I'm seeing, I guess I'm seeing like these options on Instagram, uh, where it's like, I think I've only noticed it in stories, but when you're about to post something, there's like there are these like options or saying, I think it's Reels, I'm sorry. In Reels, like you can stamp when something is made with AI, or if there's AI, like something like
Hmm.
if there's any types of AI usage, you can like mark it as such. But
But what does that label? The whole video is marked with AI? Like,
I
you know what
guess
I'm
it's just,
saying?
I mean, maybe like it's just like kind of just like,
It's only a portion of the video, but then the whole video is marked as AI. You know
yeah,
what I'm
I don't
saying?
know.
Like,
Yeah, I don't
that's
know. Yeah, no, that's a good point, but yeah, I don't know.
like, does that count? Like, we had a thing on one of the episodes where we had a bunch of fans make songs and send them in, and we played them on, we had an interview with them, we played them or whatever.
Mm.
And someone who sent us a song, his song was copywritten. And we had to take his part of the song out of that episode on YouTube. Otherwise, we
Mm.
would have had to share monetization with him for the entire episode, not just the section that he was in. So in order to get around that, what we did was we cut his part out. We left his part in, but his song part we took out, and then later released everyone's parts individually as individual clips. And then we put his out and monetized it to share the monetization, but at least he would get monetized for his portion of it only. You know what I mean? Not for the entire video.
Right.
So that was our way around it. But yeah, I mean, like with the AI, like how do you tell it like only this 5-second clip is AI, not the whole
Right.
fucking thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna crank down on that somehow.
Yeah, they're gonna have AI watching AI.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have someone's gonna make AI that goes into the AI that they made to tell the AI that's watching the AI, hey, I'm real. And then it's just gonna be a clusterfuck and just like, oh well, he said it's real, so he must be real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's gonna be some kind of like little tag or like one pixel in the art that like fools the AI that says, oh yeah, this is a real work of art. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it is. I could see that.
Um,
It's I feel like at
maybe.
some point you're gonna be able to just fool it like that. Something
Right.
stupid.
Well, yeah, that's gonna suck.
Because you know right now the stuff that's out for us has been out for at least the last like 20 years for the
Yeah.
government and shit. And they got all the cool shit going on. They're like, okay, you can have fun with this for a while. Let's see how they feed the machine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let them do the work for us. Because you're building profiles on fucking everyone in the world by everybody putting their shit out there. They can
Right.
3D scan you. They can take all your photos and fucking put it together and how you look in different environments, different lighting, facial hair, no facial hair up, hair down, no hair, shaved head, skinny, fat, whatever. Like they have 3D models on everybody. I bet there's some fucking like
Mm.
main place you can just access these. Like, oh yeah, no, we can't harvest his organs. And judging by his posts and everything, he gets drunk a lot and his liver shot. You know what I mean? Like shit, it's just
Mm.
fucking whacked out. Like I see that like 15, 20 years into the future, just fucking, oh yeah, no, based on your entire 20-year history on the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see how AI goes. I mean, just think about 2 years ago with the Will Smith eating spaghetti video, how stupid that looked. And he's like,
Mm.
and the spaghetti is like
um,
just morphing into his face and shit. People are
yeah.
like, whoa, this is cool. And now it's yeah,
Yeah, no, it's quite unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Someone made a video of the WB logo. You know how it's like the water tower and the WB or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone made an AI generated video where the camera it just shows the logo or whatever, and then the camera pans over and there's a fire going on in the studio lot. Like it was AI, yeah, AI generated. It shows the Warner Brothers logo, it's all blah blah blah. And then the camera pans over and there's a fire going on, and the camera zooms in and there's all this like music and shit going on. It's like, what the fuck? Dude, I fucking look it up. I swear to God. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, someone was feeling that type of way.
Yeah, but that's that's the things you can do now. I mean, I
Yeah.
see everything I see on TikTok. I'm always commenting on like that's not real. That's like don't get fooled by this shit. But then you're never gonna
That's the
know if it is real
problem,
or not.
man. And
Brian Wolf.
that's my big issue is like I like trust issues, man. It's
Yeah,
like
it's making it worse.
yeah. Hmm.
And it's not just the artwork; it's just what's being put out. You know.
Yeah. Even with like stuff that we're finding out that's been manipulated too. Like, I mean, we don't have to go down this route, but we'll just say like shit with the government, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
finding all this shit come to light. So, now that we got like some advanced stuff, advanced technologies, like, man, now how much have we really been hiding? Like, fuck.
Oh shit.
That shit fucks with my head. It's like, why am I even bothering like thinking about it? But it's just like, God, I wonder. I wonder what else?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always the like, yeah, we have that technology. That's cool and all, but why is it all of a sudden all coming out now?
Oh,
In the
yeah.
last 4 or 5 years? Why is it just boom? Okay, we're gonna give you everything. What happened? What happened? What happened? Is it even real that they're giving it to us? Who the fuck knows? Yeah, I'm just saying. As a character on the internet, I'm just saying. Think about it.
Are you an
It's just a little weird.
NPC?
Who the fuck knows? Who knows anything? I mean, I wouldn't go as
I'm a
far as
non-playable character. I'm an
I
NPC.
wouldn't I wouldn't go as far as that, but
No.
definitely something else going on.
No.
Yeah, big distraction.
Yeah. Uh, I just had a thought and it fucking just flew out of my mind. It was about
You
it's
know what? The government was probably watching. They zapped that thought right the fuck out of your head.
probably.
He's gonna say the thing.
Yeah, I got two
was gonna
window
say.
accesses. Well, they probably don't even need any
Yeah, they got you through your headphones.
fucking
they
cameras.
they neuralized you through your headphones.
Goddamn. You're
Little
right.
frequency we can't hear. They just blipped you.
Damn it, Salvatore, you're right. They got me. They fucking
Hey, it
got
could be my fault because who the guy I work for, he says a lot of shit on the internet. Hi George. I call him George, the guy who watches me. Hi George. Doing a podcast tonight with G. You've seen him before. I know you've been following me for a while, George.
Wait,
They
what?
rotate. The guy who watches your phone, the part of the government.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking, but I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, no, I embrace it, dude. I take him on my beat sessions. I'm like, I know you're there, dude. Here we go. We're gonna get kind of gross tonight.
Oh, oh yeah.
He loves it. He loves it. I see the little green light come on and lets me know the camera's recording. I'm like, yeah, there we go,
What if it's
George.
not? What if it's not a he? Maybe it's not a
Whatever. I mean,
George, but
it could
like
be a robot.
oh, I was gonna say like a Janine
Oh, whatever.
or
Whoever it is, I just gave it the name. I know I don't mean to be like
I know. I'm just
specific.
fucking.
Am I gonna get canceled
I'm,
now?
I'm stirring the pot. What if it's not a guy?
Yeah, what if it's non-binary? Anyway, I'm not gonna go down that road.
I know.
Yeah, what if it's Pat? Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I always like to joke about that. Hi, whoever.
I like that. George. That's a good one. Although I can't not think of George Costanza.
Yeah,
So now,
that would be funny if that was who was watching.
yeah, and like if you were able to hear like hear what he's saying as he's watching you, as he's observing you, like just
Yeah.
yeah, basically doing commentary on your life.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like, why is he doing a thing here?
Yeah, right. Huh.
Oh man.
Why is his phone not with him right now? What is he doing? What's
Yeah,
more important than holding your phone?
dude. Now you've never been like a big Star Wars fan, have you?
No.
Dude, because now I'm a fan of some of the movies. Like I'm not a huge like Star Wars fan, but I do
No.
like the movies. Like I've collected some of their stuff, like toys, Legos and shit. Like, but I'm not like hardcore about it. That being said, I do find it highly amusing watching just like the downfall of Disney Star Wars. Disney in general,
Mm,
but I'm just
mm.
focusing on Star Wars right now because it's just they got the new show, The Acolyte, and it's just like it's nothing good. There's nothing good about it. Every time I see these YouTubers like media journalists talk about it, it's never good. And I'm like, man, what a waste of fucking money.
Disney in
And what a
general.
yeah, and just well, yeah, I mean the downfall of Disney, right?
Yeah.
And because now they got exposed. I don't know if you
Well,
saw
yeah, I mean, just
that.
even that. I mean, the Marvel, their fucking shit has been garbage ever since they killed off Iron Man and that whole phase
Yeah,
was over. Their
yeah,
whole fucking thing has been shit. They've, a couple shows here and there, or maybe a movie or two, but nothing has been like. I haven't given a shit about any Marvel movie that's come out. The only one I'm excited about is Deadpool and Wolverine.
yeah,
I already got
same.
my ticket, bought it last month.
Oh,
But like,
nice.
yeah, dude, I'm stoked. But that's rightfully so because Deadpool is fucking awesome and Wolverine is fucking awesome. Like you're
Mhm.
putting out shit about B characters no one really gives a shit about. You killed off the
Yeah.
bunch of people that were holding your franchise together, and now all of a sudden you want to make shows to bring them back. Like, oh, let's make a show about Chris Evans going back and returning all the jewels now, and oh, now Robert Downey Jr. would possibly he would totally come back as fucking Iron Man. It's like because you fucked up. Because now you're gonna have this Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I don't know how this whole got hijacked here. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have this Deadpool and Wolverine movie that's gonna fucking reset the entire fucking thing. And now all of a sudden here's Chris Evans as Captain America again. Here's Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man again. Yay! We just tried to save it
Mhm.
because they're at this point. What else do they have? Their theme
Yeah.
parks are fucking bullshit, overpriced, overcrowded.
Yeah.
Their movies are crap. They're trying to pander to let's do this and let's do that because
Well,
these
yeah,
people should be this people and like I can't wait till Snow White comes out because everybody's gonna
yeah.
shit all over that fucking
They've
movie.
definitely become the heel on DEI
Dude,
and all that shit. And
it's because they're getting exposed because that's why no one likes fucking TikTok because everybody's going and recording what's going on there and all the bullshit that's happening. And it's getting out there, and people are like, well, fuck that place. Okay, well, TikTok's bad now because they say Disney's bad. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. I'm going on a rant.
did you see about the Disney VP how he got exposed talking about I mean it's how Disney's been discriminating against
Oh, white people or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
like this guy got tricked in two fake dates with like undercover female journalists
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, this guy James McAfee, I don't know, I guess he's like a big name, like I don't want to just call him a journalist, but like he
Mm-hmm.
does this kind of stuff and yeah, he was like confronting him and the guy was like running away, but it was yeah, like he spilled the beans on like the whole experience. He was like even saying, yeah, I don't know how much longer I have here because I don't quite fit the criteria. Like they are going all in on this pathway, but
Yeah.
it's just like crazy how much is getting exposed now and just the trajectory or the lack of, because yeah, I'm almost convinced. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised if they have been relying on AI to write the scripts for however many of their recent films that have been flopping, because it's just like, what happened? What
Yeah.
happened, man? Like, how can it be this bad? Like, but I believe, except for, I'll say this because you're saying the only thing you're excited about is Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm excited for that. And I'll say I was excited for X-Men 97 before that came out.
Yeah.
I was like the only thing else I was holding on to. Everything else I stopped following. But I think
Yeah.
actually, I don't know, at some point this year, I think our Disney Plus is actually gonna our subscription is gonna actually end. Because I was like, I want to cancel it, but I do want to see X-Men 97. I was like, that's the one thing I want to see.
Yeah.
So, and it was awesome. So now that we're not gonna have Disney Plus, I'm like, well, oh
I
well.
can talk to my buddy and get you on his Plex server if you want.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
He's got everything. It's
I
great.
think that, and that's the thing maybe about these days too with entertainment in general. It's like, I mean, we say it all the time. There's so much content. It's so hard to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Like at events when people see my fan art, they just, especially the anime, they just start throwing these names out, and I'm like, I don't, no, like I don't follow this. I only know about it by the name, but I never watched it.
Yeah.
Same thing every time, and I feel bad because like they're looking for that stuff. I'm like, sorry, like I can only I can only do so much. It captures so
Yeah.
many shows and whatever or popular characters. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That shit's going well for you, or how's that going?
it's been like a roller coaster. There's been some really like ups and downs. I've been
Yeah,
trying
ebbs
some
and
new
flows.
scenes too, so like um yeah, I've been trying like new markets, like markets that are just launched, and then like just new areas in general too. So it's like it's it's a very hit or miss right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, like June was all right. Like I got the one event that I really wanted to do well, I ended up doing very well at. And then the last two were kind of like they were just duds. So
Yeah.
I mean, I did well enough at the first one that it made up for the other two. Actually, the one of them I didn't have to pay anything, like no vendor fees or any other expenses. So
Yeah.
I didn't care so much about that one, but the other one I kind of did. But yeah, I don't know, man. And like kind of just this kind of goes back to the content creating because like having trying to build a social media presence, I gotta try to find my language and try to just really speak to the people that like that fuck with my art and just like
Hmm.
my videos and like all of it, right? So now I've been try to get back on that track of, you know, showing more content to address like consumers yeah, consumers instead of just other artists. Because I gained such I gained so many followers over the course of like a month, but it was because of this video that went viral. It was like a trend. I was following a trend, and it was really geared towards other artists. So I mean, which is fine. Like I've said this like a couple of times. Like I don't mind networking with other artists. I mean, I host a podcast, but
Yeah.
I just kind of fell off track. Like my goal is to really try to engage with my general audience that will like invest in my art. And I kind of just veered off of it for a bit and started like talking more, sharing more, yeah, more behind the scenes on the artist aspect. Um, that like only artists would understand, what it's like to be a vendor, what it's like to be an artist. Um, yeah, there's a lot of like story, like getting into like the story um that's involved, and I gotta go back into my notes from like the courses that I've taken, and just
Mm.
yeah, it's just it's boring shit, honestly. But that is the reality of it. If I'm talking in
Yeah.
terms of trying to make my business um to improve the business, is like I kind of have to just focus on who I'm trying to talk to through my content, and hopefully that will transpire. I don't think that's the right word, but hopefully that'll like put things together in motion. Um, yeah, as of right now, I make my money doing events and some commissions. That's another one too. So again, like having to find, my again, quote unquote language on how to um talk about my art to a consumer, someone that's like, not just looking for art, but something a little more meaningful. And that shit kind of, it's like, it's tricky. It kind of gets, you kind of like have to dig real deep in yourself and like answer some like tough but blunt questions about the thing that you're creating. It's like, it's a lot of whys, hows, like, how do you get to this point? So it's almost like therapy. It's almost like doing that therapy on yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I can
But
see that.
yeah, it's
Sometimes.
just like, yeah, it just that's the part of the content creating I don't like sometimes. It's like, I don't know, because when I think of making videos, because I used to make videos with my buddies, like like in high school, like before high school, we just make these funny
Hmm.
videos.
Oh yeah.
So I I'd prefer to make funny videos rather than like trying to like connect with somebody on an emotional level
Hmm.
or whatever. Like it gets a little too, I don't know. And maybe because it's on the internet, so I'm like, I'm better at it doing it in person. So
Yeah.
when I'm doing it at these events, like it's so much better and easier to do that. Like the context is there, and it doesn't feel it's not scripted. Like, that's
Yeah.
it's like it's authentic. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's the part about the content creating, and it just sucks because that was a lot of the my classmates in this online course were like, yeah, like I don't want to be a content creator. It's just like I just want to share my art, but
Hmm.
there is that aspect of, yeah, being like doing the marketing and being like a salesperson and all that. You got to wear all the hats, and
Yeah.
I clearly
And
did
see,
not go
that's
to
why,
school for that.
but that's where you can have AI help you out with some of that shit.
Oh, absolutely. And I've considered it. I guess it's just like I guess I gotta worry about like what my computer can handle, like how much, like if I'm gonna download all these new softwares or like buy these new softwares. It's like, all right,
Nah, everything's fucking all web based.
what
I
does
mean, you
that
get
mean?
CapCut. If you get CapCut, I mean, that's just for
Well, I do
editing
have
and shit. But
CapCut.
I
Well,
mean, if
I'm
you're
saying
using like
like,
Chat GPT and shit, you're using that's web based, you know?
like that, like we talked about DaVinci. Is that like
Oh well, DaVinci, yeah, that'll eat up some space, yeah.
yeah.
But
Well,
if you're looking to go, go with CapCut because if you're just building like quick clips and shit like that, or even doing like the
yeah.
podcast, CapCut will be great for that. You don't need a
No, that's what I
powerhouse to
do
do that shit.
already. It's just like it's just
Especially if you're not doing crazy cuts and like editing and shit, like with two different,
mhm.
cameras or whatever. You that's perfect for you, dude.
That's what I use already. I'm just saying like
Oh, you do? Okay. Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I use it
Oh, oh.
already. That's why when you're talking about the captions, like, yeah, same shit, man. I was like, man, I don't want to have to write all this fucking,
Yeah.
the dialogue that I want to share. But
Hmm.
no, I'm just saying, eh, I get burnt out trying to think of like what's the next hook I can get,
Hmm.
possible clients for. Like it's just, yeah.
Yep.
that's like the game I don't like playing, but and I fell off. So I fell off for a bit. So that's why like you may come across some of like those more formal videos and it's just like I don't know. I feel like I don't sound authentic in my videos when I'm like doing a read or like just speaking in my videos. But
No one does.
I don't
Because
know.
are you reading something?
I am.
Yeah, because you're reading something.
uh
Nothing's gonna sound fucking authentic unless you're an actor. You're not an actor, are you? Yeah, you're
uh,
not gonna fucking. You gotta. I mean, if anything, read it and add a little of your own shit to it. But yeah,
I
if you're
do.
gonna
I
read
try
it,
to
it's
ad
gonna
lib.
sound like reading it.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
that's the part that feels ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it all the time when I do shit for work, and I'm like, da 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 da. I'm like, I don't fucking talk like that. Like, what is it? Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah. I don't know.
You let yourself speak through your art.
Yeah, sometimes, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm I'm gonna start working on some more. Oh, I got hiccups now. Tech Utopia stuff, but
Mm.
I don't know. Like for a while, I was kind of avoidant of it. Now I'm like, maybe I'll. I think I'm in that headspace now, or just getting there. So
Where are you based out of?
Richmond,
So you are okay.
yeah. Why?
Oh, I was just curious. What do you have any festivals coming up soon? How far do you stretch out when you go when you do
Not
festivals?
far at all. Like
No,
I
very local.
if I can book like a couple of months ahead, that'd be great. But just the way these pop-up markets, like these coordinators operate, because it's they're such the regular events. So um sometimes in most cases I mean depending how many organizers you're dealing with, but yeah, in most cases it's like, as far as 2 months for me. Um
Mhm.
Because like I I don't find anything out till maybe a couple weeks out of the event. So
Yeah.
that's the one part I kind of wish more people were better about. I mean, I totally get how hard it is to coordinate these things, but I'm just like, I just wish got a little bit of more advanced notice on like, hey, you're accepted.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, all right, we're a week away from this event and I haven't heard anything. It's like,
Oof.
I guess I'm not accepted. Like that shit
Yeah.
sucks to be honest,
Oh,
but
the anxiety of that. Yeah. Am I
yeah,
doing it? Should I prepare? Do I need to prepare? Like what?
yeah.
That's stupid. Ugh.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's just how it is. I mean, like
Ugh.
more art based, like art festivals, they're a little more organized, like advancedly organized. I don't think that makes sense, but
Mhm.
they're more organized and advanced, and but they're pricier. So it's just like one of those. It's just I'm kind of like in the middle of things where I'll do as many pop-ups that I can do that
Mhm.
I can benefit from, and then I really try to get in on any type of weekend arts festival. I'm trying to get my foot in the space of like, small comic book conventions just because like my work, it just only makes sense. People are like, why
Mhm.
aren't you doing these things? I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Dude, yeah,
But,
I feel you'd be killing it. You'd be
yeah, I
killing it.
mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't have the confidence for it, but I do.
You don't have the confidence for what? To sell your artwork at a comic book convention?
Yeah, just because like everyone is into like so many things. So because like I said, I don't follow everything, so I feel like it's just
Right. Yeah.
harder to.
That's that, but that's what makes you stand out from the other people.
I
They
guess.
may not have what you have, and you
I
may not have what they want, but you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like vice versa. Like that's.
I already had to talk for my fellow vendors at Faith Fest. We got into this whole thing. So like I'm not sitting through it again.
Yeah.
No, they said exactly what you said. And no, yeah, so I'm like leaving myself open to it. So any like I've been trying to keep my eyes open for like vendor call outs and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, just yeah, it's a confidence thing, and just because they're expensive. So I
Comedy, but
just
you're already out there doing it. Like that's what I don't get. You're
yeah,
already doing these festivals and talking to people and mingling. You're putting yourself out there on social media, but you're having confidence issues about a comic book convention where people are dressed up as the shit that you're drawing.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I don't know. Like I
Dude,
said,
dude, just fucking do it, man. Just do it.
yeah, you're
Do
right.
it.
You're absolutely right. That's why I put the post up. I don't know if you saw it. The meme with it's like the guy and his girlfriend, but he's looking the other way at the other girl, and I
Mm-hmm.
had that it's the artist, and then the girl that's like pissed off at him is delusion, and then the girl that he's admiring is fearlessness, and that's something I'm like. I mean, I always tell myself I gotta work on it, and this is another one of those moments where I'm like, all right, fucking, we gotta be a little more fearless, man, and just
Yeah.
fucking, just try some shit out.
Dude,
Like,
you had a goal when you wanted to lose weight and get in shape, and you hit that shit right in the face. You ate right, you fucking got in shape, you lost all the weight. You fucking did a great job doing it, and you're still doing that, maintaining it. Just fucking hit the shit in the face, man. Just do it. Do it.
I know.
Do it. And not only that, but then think about all the content that you can generate for yourself to push that shit even further. So you're not
Yeah.
only using it to sell your artwork, but then you're also using it to sell your artwork on the internet, to sell it when you're at these venues. Like, oh, okay, this guy's selling shit. Cool. I'll be at that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The problem is I'm just always in my own way. It's
Yeah.
a big flaw I have. Yeah, there's always just some form of fear and anxiety that's like
No, I get
pulling me.
that.
It sucks, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, I unfortunately have to be like reminded of like, yeah, just fucking go for it, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I had I had the pep talk at Faye Fest, and then we are again. But like I said, I'm leaving myself open to it. It's just yeah, just see what opens up.
Dude, just fucking have a couple shots, open your legs, and let it happen. That's
No,
terrible.
for sure.
Cut that out. Cut that part out. Have a couple shots over your legs, let it happen. That's terrible. No, that's not not what I meant. How it came out, but
There we
something
go.
along those lines.
Yeah. See, there
Not
you
let it happen, but
go. I'm leaving this all in.
there's something there. I don't know. There's something there. Whatever. Whatever. I said it. Fuck you. I didn't. Whatever. Just gonna keep digging
No, but
myself a hole.
I agree though. Just yeah, I got to take my shots.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Look at
Well,
that. I fixed it.
shit. There you go. Speaking of Wayne Gretzky and going back to the
Segue. Going back to the 90s. There we go.
no,
Full
because
circle.
you did remind me of this cartoon that I was able to catch a little bit of again, and what's the name of it? But it's this cartoon of it's Wayne Gretzky, um, Michael Jordan, and another I think another like football character, but they're like crime fighters. They're like superheroes. Shit. It's like something all stars.
Pro
Uh
stars.
Pro stars, yeah. Sometimes they had yeah, and they would I think they would like switch up the characters sometimes. Like it'd be Wayne Gretzky, like the and who was the one basketball player that used to dress up as grandmama?
Oh God, fucking.
I don't know, but like they
I
would
know
they
who
would
you're
have like
talking about.
I think he's been on it once instead of Michael Jordan. I don't know. But anyway, that was again, what a that was just like a fun adventurous show. Like that's why I love the 90s so much too, is because of how Dude, they just tried anything, like all the ideas, like all the, especially for kids, right? Like all
Mm-hmm.
these crazy ideas that they tried for kids. It's like, you know, Toxic Avengers, which came from a comic, right? I think that was
Mm-hmm.
originally a comic book, but Killer Tomatoes,
Yeah, that
uh,
was from movie. Mutant
fucking
League Football, all kinds of shit.
some, it's like just so many, biker mice from Mars.
Yep. Which I
Uh,
think is going to be a movie soon. They're
yeah, I
working
remember
on
hearing
it.
that rumor.
Yeah.
Um, just like yeah, man, Street Sharks. I mean, you can just
Street
go on
Sharks.
and on and on. Actually, there was one that was like, I'm so surprised. I have this vague memory of like having the toys, but there was like this one old cartoon called, there's a sci-fi called Bucky O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare.
Are you familiar? He's like
I'm very
the
familiar
green
with Bucky
rabbit in
O'Hare.
space.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
like the bad guys were like these toads or something like.
Yep.
So yeah, watching these old cartoons, I'm like able to come across like this is what I'm like seeing in these compilation videos. I'm like,
I
yo,
used to
that's
love James Bond Jr.
yeah, yeah, that's popped up a couple times.
Yeah.
Even like oh, what is it? They try doing like a Highlander like cartoon, but it's like in the future.
I don't know if I watched
And
that one.
it's yeah, I mean I don't I can't remember. Probably like just
Yeah.
the Highlander series or some shit. It's probably called. But it's just yeah, it's just cool like like everything they try to turn into a franchise too, or not into a franchise, but they would take like, they had the Beetlejuice cartoon, Ace Ventura
Mm-hmm.
cartoon, like
Back to the
the
Future.
Karate Kid cartoon, like
Yeah.
they turned everything into a cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Turtles.
Nonstop.
Shit.
Which, I mean, kind of going back to then too, man. A lot of fucking
Well, no, Turtles was
content.
a cartoon first.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Turtles was a cartoon, then a movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it
It's just like
was a lot of shit. A lot of
lot,
shit.
lot of shit. But then it's just like, yeah. So like, yeah, the messaging though, just like were simpler. Like that was always my argument too. Like when you were
Mhm.
saying it was simpler times.
Yep.
Yeah, simpler times and like and just like the traditional moral values too. Like I really enjoyed the one like the fact that there were so many cartoons that had like those, like G.I. Joe's type of shit at the end. Or like, remember kids, like
Oh, I like the ones where they make fun of
America.
them.
Yeah. The parodies are funny too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Remember like Carmen San Diego?
Oh yeah.
Dude, like they had these cartoons that like would teach you like geographical shit. Like Mighty
Yeah.
Max was like that too. I've been watching
Yeah.
some Mighty
Mighty
Max. I'm like,
Max.
yo, they be like teaching you shit. It's like this is pretty cool.
Yeah, Animaniacs taught you about chemicals that were in foods and shit that made you fat and stuff. That was a yeah,
Yeah, it's wild.
yeah.
Uh,
Like
damn.
there was an episode of that I remember seeing later on as an adult, and it was one of them, Wacko, I think, told Dot to go look for fingerprints or something, and she came back and she had Prince in her arms, like the singer, and he goes, "No, fingerprints." Like they meant fingerprints. And
Uh,
she got Prince, and he goes, "No, fingerprints." And I saw that. I'm like, I don't remember that. That's crazy. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah. Fingerprints. Yeah. Or Ren and Stimpy with the
Oh
saw
yeah.
cutting the log in between his cheeks.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kid shows.
Kid shows.
Yep. Kid shows. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, and what do they got now? I mean, honestly, they just watch adult shit now, right? They just
Pretty
got access
much.
to it.
Pretty much.
Oh my
Same
goodness.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other movies? grabbing your uh
Yeah,
movies you
no,
find enticing?
not really. I mean, it's
Trying to
just
find something to
Deadpool and
make me go
Wolverine.
out.
Just want to
Yeah,
see some aimless carnage with Deadpool and Wolverine. That's about it.
yeah, that's the only one.
I saw the new Ghostbusters movie. That was all right, but
Yeah,
nothing really grabs me to go out anymore. There's nothing good, you
that's
know. And
fortunate.
you're gonna go pay $100 for a movie ticket for a movie that may be good, dude.
Yeah.
I went and saw. What did I see? I saw The Flash at
Oh
the
yeah, we
movies.
talked a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
that's right, we did, and it was not wasn't happy about spending the money on that to go see that movie.
Yeah.
It's like it's just the I don't know, man. Ever since COVID, it's just the whole movie scene is just it's shot. It's just not what it used to be anymore. You know what I mean? I
And the,
mean, Hollywood's garbage. They're spitting out fucking terrible shit. Like that's 90s peak, bro. That's it. It's
yeah.
peak. You can't do everything. Yes, there were some reboots and shit back then, but they were done so well you didn't even know they were a remake. And then now they're remaking remakes, and then they're like, yeah, let's just change everybody and make, I don't know, the whole cast penguins because we got to be inclusive to penguins.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah, everything is as they say.
You know what it was? Once the turtles lost the suits, that's when shit went downhill.
Oh,
Because that was peak. Practical effects was peak. You had these
yeah.
suits, you had things that people actually worked on, and I that's why I appreciate movies that come out now that have practical effects, but that's few and far in between, you know. And
Yeah.
at that time, they're normally coming out on like Netflix or some streaming service. It doesn't even come out in the fucking movies, and it's like, well, Hollywood's putting out these multi-$100 million movies and they're fucking garbage.
Yeah. I know. I
I mean,
think.
I've seen the fan made uh Never Hike Alone. You ever watch those on YouTube?
No.
The fan made Jason movies.
Oh no.
Better
Name of
it's
that.
better than most shit that I've seen come out from Hollywood, and it was fan made. Like people just donated money and they made this movie, and it's great. They got the original Tommy Jarvis to come back and play his character,
Oh
like
shit.
really good, yeah. But like well done, like nothing. It's just it's amazing to think like they spent $150 million on this movie, and they're upset because they only made 90 million on it, for the first week. It's like they didn't make it back in one weekend. But it's like your movie was garbage. It was shit. You have a fucking movie about a pool that's trying to kill people. What? What? Have you
Yeah.
seen that? It's a
No.
horror movie where the pool will kill you.
Oh, I've seen the like short previews for it. Yeah. That's
The pool is gonna kill you. I would believe a movie about going swimming in a pool that had a shark in it. Because when you were a kid and you were in a pool and you're like, oh my God, shark's gonna get me. I can't. Like I would believe that over a pool that's just gonna kill you. Sharks and pools. There, I just
Well,
wrote the
it was
movie.
haunted, right? It was haunted.
Something like that, but
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like going back to like, who knows how long people may have been relying on AI with
yeah.
writing
Yeah.
scripts.
Yeah.
Like who knows? I'm obviously talking out of my ass about it, but I mean, I
Well,
mean,
soon we'll be able to get the top level tier of Netflix, and we'll be able to make our own movies. They're going to give you a short survey you're going to fill out. You're going to input the information. What do you want to see? Who's it about?
yeah,
Is it a drama or a comedy or a mixture of all? Blah 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 blah. And it's just going to create a movie that you put together, that you
yeah,
curated. That's what it's going to come down
yeah,
to.
yeah. I mean, like, and that sounds cool.
No, it
On,
doesn't. It sounds horrible.
I mean, I think it sounds pretty neat. Like, I think to really stroke that curiosity, because like it makes me think of when and this really simplifies it, but what's that like gaming emulator is like called Mugen or Mugen? It's like this it's like a fighting game, but you can have like all these different characters fight each other, like
Hmm.
from Ronald McDonald to fucking Homer Simpson.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's like Muugen. I just don't know how to pronounce it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like this huge, wide.
So it's like Mortal Kombat, but it's every character
Well, it's like
imaginable
Street
that fights
Fighter.
each other. Yeah.
Street
Yeah.
Fighter.
Same. Yeah.
So
Just a fighting game. Yeah.
you can have like Goku fight like Donald Duck or some shit, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I kind of think of in terms of when you have that full creative freedom. It just like gives you the. It's like, oh, I wonder what. I mean, I'm kind of referencing my like some of the fan art or the fan fiction I do because I'm like, what would it be like to see so and so together? So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
would treat if I like was making my own movie, like I guess like yeah, I would just kind of whatever ideas I've ever had, I'd be like, huh, I wonder what this would be like if this came to fruition. At the same time, though, again, it's just like it's just that instant gratification. Like that shit burns you out and it numbs you. Like I prefer delayed gratification because then like like fucking like the Lord of the like we're big on Lord of the Rings. So like I appreciate that as like an art because like it took so many years to accomplish. They use a lot of special effects, but they also use a lot of uh
Mm-hmm.
practical too. So like, and I just think like when you have something uh, that took a long time, but it was like you can tell like all the efforts and every single detail was like intentional. And when you just want to like create shit because it's like easy and quick, it's like it just yeah, I think that just numbs you and you kind of like you leave as you enter just as empty because it's like, oh, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing. Like
Yep.
so yeah, I don't know. That was kind of like a off topic tangent, I feel like, but I think that
Yeah,
kind of had some
that
relation to what
works.
we were saying before. Yeah. Well, yeah, because I was saying like it's kind of cool that to be able to have that, right? That access to like formulate whatever movie you want. But yeah, like when everybody's doing it, and let's say you
Yeah.
put it out there, like it's just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just like we're not meant to have that capacity mentally. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna be zombies, right? So kind of like you
Well,
know,
not only that, but now like you're singling people out because now days are
uh,
gone where you used to accumulate over by the water cooler and be like, hey, did you catch the fucking episode of whatever? Or did you watch that movie? Now it's everybody's gonna be making their own shit. It's like you can't be like,
yeah.
hey, did you see the thing I made unless you came over or I showed it to you? You
Hmm.
know what I mean? It's just gonna be all
Oh,
individualized, and
oh
you
man,
don't talk like that anymore.
what if it turns into like how people communicate with gifs and memes? It's just like people are just gonna be sharing movies to each other like that. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Hey,
you
check out
know,
this movie I had created.
yeah, three
Yeah.
o'clock in the afternoon. Suddenly you
Yeah.
get,
And then you're going to be like, oh, another one.
you know,
Jesus fucking Christ. That's three today already.
yeah.
Watching this. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
It's like G just sent you the Fartist part 3.
Yeah. Dude.
Be like, oh man, I'm really turning this into a franchise
Yeah.
now.
Oh, look, a third one. Awesome. Can't wait to watch this one.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
and
fucking,
then that's when you on the other side of it, you take AI and you go, hey, AI, watch this fucking movie that G just gave me and give me a 5 sentence synopsis on what happened in part 3 of the Fartnest. You know what I mean? And it's just going to be back and forth. Like South Park did it when when their girlfriends were texting them or whatever. and they would have Chat GPT write responses back to the girlfriends, so they don't have to respond to the girlfriends anymore. They can just have Chat GPT do it. And then like
Uh,
they eventually got called out because the girls would be like, "Oh, it was so nice when you said this," and they'd be like, "Yeah, totally said that.
uh,
Yeah, that was all me." And they eventually
well,
got called
yeah,
out for it. But
because
yeah,
dating apps have that, I believe. Yeah, I don't know which ones, but I believe I remember hearing a lot of dating apps have that feature where people, yeah, they just rely on AI to carry the conversation. It's like, dude,
well, even that too. Yeah, you could just say, "Hey, I'm trying to talk to this girl. I need something sweet to say. She said this. Give me a suave response to give back." And then that's what you're doing. You're telling Chat GPT what you should be telling this chick. And then
yeah, yeah,
fuck.
ChatGPT is just like a third party.
Yeah, it's an
It's
interpreter at that point. And then you're not even having a real conversation, you know?
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Where we gotta find, we gotta dig out the positive in all this mongering.
There's only one positive out of this. We need to take down Skynet.
Okay.
As good as all this shit is and helpful it is, it's gonna be our demise, bro. It's
Uh,
gonna be so bad.
so here, what happened? All right, so here's because this is my thing lately. Well, like because I was talking about earlier how like this town we didn't have Wi-Fi for like a good majority of the day. So what if just like suddenly blackout completely everybody, not just
I'm
random.
waiting for it.
Mm,
I'm waiting.
interesting.
Yeah. Yep. Waiting for it. I mean,
Well,
not like waiting by the door, but like I
what would
would
your
like to
first
think
move
that I'm
be?
prepared for it. Huh?
What would your first move be?
Probably piss out in the fucking sidewalk or in the middle of the street or something. Like, what are you gonna fucking do about it, Karen? Like, fuck your HOA. It does not apply anymore. It's over.
That'd be so interesting. So, like, I mean, we're talking like no phone calls or anything, right?
There couldn't be anything. Yeah, if the grid was down, it'd be over. Just done.
Because like all we have are just smartphones.
They'd be fucking wiped. I mean, yeah, they unless you're getting like,
With the
yeah,
rare, those outliers that still have landlines, let's say,
yeah.
whatever the percentage that would be. But yeah, we'd be like pretty. I know, at least I would be. I mean, uh, my first move, I guess, would be to try to connect with uh my in-laws. Like they don't live far.
Yeah.
So my guess is that me and my wife would probably. Oh, well, that's the thing. Like, what if she's not here? Oh, this brings up a lot of things. This brings up a lot of questions now. Because
That's a whole nother podcast.
oh my God, I know. Because like I don't even know how to get to her work without Waze. So like
Think about phone numbers. Do you even know her phone number?
I do. But like
Okay.
that's the thing. Like if I can call her still,
All
just
right. Yeah.
like we
Which
just
that
don't
might
have
be
the
pointless at that time. Yeah, at that point.
yeah, but yeah, I don't even know. I wouldn't know how to get reach her if she was at work.
You
'Cause
would have to you would have to have some kind of meeting point or something like, hey, if something happens, God forbid, and I cannot call you and there are no self services or phone services whatsoever, then you drop what you're doing and you meet me at this location and we figure our shit out from there. Because if it's that bad, then what are you staying at work or wherever you're at for? You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is bad. I'm fucking out. I'm not gonna. Yeah, fucking clock me out for the day. I'm done. Goodbye.
yeah, I feel
But
like
you would have to have some kind of central meeting point at least for that initial contact. Because yeah, because then you're like, is she coming home? Do you go out to find her? And then she comes home and you're not there. And it's a whole fucking. I've seen that movie 1,000 times,
right,
dude.
yeah.
Just fucking. Let's
I
meet.
feel
If
like
shit
home
goes
would be the
south, meet
first
here.
one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that would be primarily like
I would
meet
really be
here.
I would just be freaking nervous as shit about her status is like not knowing if everything's okay until
Yeah,
she comes home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Yeah.
Okay. We might have to touch base on that on another episode.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Some Mad Max shit. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Like it could be the afterthought of this AI episode. It could be like a part two. Like, okay, AI has annihilated everybody or has annihilated the grid. Now we have nothing. What do we do?
Oh.
It
Uh,
just kind of like not annihilated everybody, but it just like it knew to reset the earth. It has to
that's what I mean.
kill
Like
the grid.
it just makes us have to really live like just live like
It sets us
cavemen and
back. Yeah. Yep.
rely on our just basic resources. I mean,
And
if we
not our
have
basic instincts.
basic instincts, oof.
Yeah. Like our
I mean, if everything
primal
can just still like if I mean, yeah, if everything kind of just went back to like
dude, think about what
being
happened during 4 years ago. That was just a hey, you can't go out anywhere thing. That wasn't a services aren't working shit like that, which is why a lot of the stuff in the last 4 years came out was because you locked people up for a fucking year and all they had to do was search the internet. And that's when all this stuff started coming up. And now everybody's like, TikTok bad because we made people stay home and look at
uh,
stuff. And now they know things and we don't want them to know stuff. You did that. You fucking did that. You ruined your whole big fucking American dream scam. You fucking did it. You locked everybody up. They had nothing to do but scour the internet for days upon weeks upon months. What did you think
But
was going
don't
to happen?
oh, do you remember that one period? I don't maybe it didn't happen in I don't you weren't in Florida yet, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know if this happened during quarantine. But there was one point where I think for a couple of days we had no didn't we have no Wi-Fi? Wasn't there like that internet blackout
There
or,
might have been one day or something that we
or maybe I'm
probably
just
lost
thinking of
shit.
like a regular power outage.
I don't know. It could have been a blackout. I've seen blackouts before. They've happened recently. I know shit was down like a couple months ago.
Well, all right, maybe I'm meshing two different occasions. I think during quarantine there was a blackout in our neighborhood for a few days.
Mm.
So it was like really it was just weird because then like
It was probably because that they were throttling the internet because everybody was home on that shit.
possibly that could very well be. But but then the other thing I was thinking about was when and this happened I think last year when like Instagram stopped working for like a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so like just trying to sort of extrapolate that like into what would that be like if that happened for X amount of days on all of the platforms. Like
It's
what?
funny because it reminds me of the cable guy. Do you
Yeah.
remember the end of the
Yeah,
cable
yeah.
guy when everybody was waiting by the TV for the verdict of the jury, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden he fucking hit the satellite, and the one dude he just fucking he starts hitting the TV, and then the
Yeah.
one guy's in the chair, and he's like, "Ah," and he looks over and he finds a book, and he puts his
Yeah.
glasses on, and he starts
Yeah,
reading
that's
the book.
that was Kyle from Tenacious D.
Yeah, you're right. Holy shit. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much would be, and I mean that was the case when those things happened that I mentioned, like the blackouts and whatnot. Like I tried reading, I tried reading again.
Yeah, man.
It
Yeah.
sounds so sad, but I can't book read. I just I'm
Yeah.
better with audiobooks. But
Yep.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, we were just more present, and I think this kind of brings it back full circle about why we reminisce so hard with the 90s because we were really present with like the stuff we were consuming.
Yeah.
It's like because a lot of it was like doing stuff with your friends
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and
Well, that's
family,
also when we were growing up. That's what stuck around the most during our most learned days of our lives.
spending
Pop
time.
culture came in and fucking wreaked havoc. I mean, shit. How else are you gonna play, Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam? You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Like, it's funny to even think about that line because of, there wasn't that yet. That was not a thing yet. And that
Right.
movie came out and was like, yeah, you play with Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam. And, 5, 6, whatever many years later, you were able to do such things.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that, what we grew up with and saw eventually kind of became a thing.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate us talking so heavily on 90s and AI
Oh, yeah, man.
and Disney.
And then come back
Yeah.
to the nostalgia. That was good. That was good. See?
Yeah, I try, man. I always try my best.
You did great, man. That was awesome.
Thank you. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
I don't know, man. I
In
think that's it,
regards
dude.
to episode 190?
Was there? Now AI is an assistant. We took care of that. Oh, you did. You mentioned something. I forget what it was about AI, and it was I forget exactly what it was you mentioned, but it made me think of Black Mirror. Did you ever see Black Mirror?
Dude, I intentionally don't watch Black Mirror because I know that shit's gonna freak me out even more.
Oh yeah, well, because you mentioned something. You mentioned something about maybe manipulating voices. Oh, I think like taking a voice of maybe someone who has passed or something along those lines, and then putting it in an AI to hear them speak again, something along
Oh,
those
AI
lines.
translation?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
think it was something like that. Yeah.
well, if it's that, because I talked about the video of this Brazilian MMA fighter. So he doesn't speak English for the most part, so they took his post-fight interview and so they used AI to not only translate it in English, but they translated that it's his voice speaking English,
Yeah.
which was like kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then like okay, like that would help out a lot for me at least. I
Mm.
wouldn't mind that. And like I know like one of the things I was referring to was like this book I was really into, The Warrior Within. It's about Bruce Lee, and there were a lot of parts where a lot of his like like his quotes, the guy would like read it kind of like imitating his voice, which
That's what you
yeah,
were
which
saying.
kind of
Yeah.
like for me it sounds hacky, but it kind of worked for me because like he did it like decent enough for me to just be able like, oh, I feel like I'm listening to his words. So that being said, using that and applying to the AI technology to that and really have the all of the tonalities of Bruce
Hmm.
Lee saying these lines, um
It
like yeah,
works really
that'd be
well.
really neat, I mean, especially like stuff that's not recorded, um just a lot of his written work, but like yeah, just applying that to anything though too, like especially for translation wise, like yeah, it'd be cool like to yeah, like I said in that episode, I think I said it'd be neat to hear myself speak in Tagalog and or like have my parent translate what my parents are saying when they're talking to me. So I just
Or
think that would
shit.
be like a useful tool to have in the future.
Translation aside, taking a past relative and having them talk again.
Well, yeah, that shit would be that's freaky. That'd
Yeah.
definitely be freaky. So there's definitely like two sides to it, right?
Yeah.
Like so that is the
Like, could you
part.
imagine someone had like a video or something of a relative that was passed and they were able to strip the voice out of it, feed it to an AI, have it say something, and then have that person call you
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
voice,
yeah.
like,
That's
"Hey, this is me." I don't know whatever they would say, but like,
yeah. But
I would.
the only thing I would say to that is it's like it's not that much different because like there are some people that have, like family members that have passed and they still like I've heard stories where they'll still call their phones and listen to their
Hear the
voicemail.
voicemail and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like so it just be like a highly advanced version of that, right? But
Well, what
it's
what
free.
made me think about that Black Mirror episode was that there was an instance of that, and we're currently living in that. So this person's husband passed away, got into an accident or whatever. She's distraught, blah blah blah. The service contacts her and says something along the lines of like, "Hey, how would you like to get in contact with your husband? It's not really him, it's an AI. You feed us all this info, and then we generate this algorithm that you can have a conversation with it, and it's like talking to your husband." So she goes for it, and it's emails. So she just writes an email, a little bit later, gets a reply back. It's her husband, supposedly, and she's asking it questions that only it would know. And of course, it knew all the questions because it had the data. And then then they got to upgrade. And then it was you can do voicemails or something like that, or you can have a conversation with it on the phone. And it was an AI voice that with all the curated data, you can have a conversation with it, talk to it, ask it questions, just as if you were having a normal conversation. Well, then the last upgrade for that was like an android, almost like a lifelike body that look just like them, and they ship in a fucking like ice box, and then you put it in your bathtub with some like sea monkey fucking powder, and then it grows and turns into the adult person that you lost. But like just to get to that point, like obviously not the androids and shit, but we're not far off from getting the voicemails and stuff, making the phone calls and shit. There's probably a service out there right now. It's like, hey, you want to talk to your dead relative? Give us a call.
Yeah, well, people have gotten scammed with that already.
That too, I've heard about that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, we're already there. It's just like how it's being used, and that's
I
fun.
do it with Jim when he fucks up venues for like promos and shit. I go in and I use his voice. I change the state or whatever he messed up, and I replace his.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
and you wouldn't know. No one would ever know. You would not know unless you saw me actually physically edit it and put it in where it
Well,
was.
it's
Like, you
it is it in
know.
just audio or like video too?
I cover the video part with like a picture or something, like an overlay
Right.
that you don't see that part.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
meant.
but you
Okay.
wouldn't
So
like, dude, it's so sick. Like you give it a 30-second clip. That's all it needs. And it gets the like when it's talking, it gets the breaths in there. It's like
oh wow.
dude, it's fucking ridiculous how close like and then it just be it would you just type something out, just type a normal sentence out, and it'll add like, so now we're gonna go to the store and then yeah, then we're gonna go and probably buy some like fruit and stuff. And then like you hear it breathing, like it's dude, like how are you doing that? Like that's fucking wacky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have Jim reading the lyrics to WAP, and he sounds annoyed reading the lyrics to WAP. Like, yeah, fucking want some wet ass pussy, drop a bucket in a mouth for the wet ass pussy. Like he's just like trying to get it over with. Like, okay, I don't want to read
Yeah.
this. And it's funny because then he's like, and then you hear the breaths like, and then grab a bucket in a mouth for the wet ass pussy. And it's like, wow, you did not like reading that.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. Well,
We're doomed. We're doomed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, like there's gotta be a light somewhere. Well, I don't have nothing.
Just need to shut it down, man.
Gotta shut it down. Well, anything you want to plug before we put a ribbon on this bad
Uh,
boy?
the 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 I want to plug the hole in nostalgia that I have for the '90s.
Jesus.
Nah, there's nothing. There's nothing. I'm just working.
Man.
There
Well,
ain't
dude,
shit
I'm,
going
I'm
on.
I'm glad that we got back together to do another one of these. It's always a good time.
Dude, I want to do another one with the post-apocalyptic
I'm down. Yeah, we can.
preparation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can just if yeah, we can just do a whole episode based on that. Just trying to come up with like
Dude, you
like a
start off
solid
the
plan.
episode. You start off the episode. We can do green screen backgrounds. You start off the episode like 20 years later, like 20 years after their third conversation or something like that, and we're like in a desolate dystopian background. Like, dude, we're using satellites to communicate to each other right now.
That's actually really funny. Yeah, we just get like backgrounds of like post-apocalyptic scenery.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh shit. I'm
Yep.
down. I'm down. We
Cool.
can set that up.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't do a lot of prep when I know I'm gonna sit down with you because I know we can like really riff and
Yeah.
just, like really hang out and talk about
The
whatever.
only prep I do was in the garage before I started this. So
Oh yeah. Well, well, all right then. For everyone that has joined us for this wild episode, um, I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed listening. I hope you enjoyed watching. And yeah, hope you're excited to catch this episode that we eventually do when we talk about surviving this apocalypse this yeah, nearing apocalypse. But yeah, please follow if you are listening, subscribe if you're watching, if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, blah blah blah. Hit all the necessary buttons to help out with the growth of the podcast. Yeah, share with your friends, all that good jazz. And yeah, you could always follow the links in the description below, social media, all that stuff. And yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay driven. And we shall catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.